Very special, a Sunday showpiece, a Wembley playoff final. There is no greater way to get up to achieve promotion. Who brings their best under the arch? It's time for battle to commence in the League Two playoff final between Carlisle United and Stockport County, calling every kick for Talksport to the 90 minutes and more if needed. Our match summarises the former EFL Republic of Ireland international striker Dave Connolly alongside Nigel Adderley.
Thank you, Dan. It's already been a good weekend for former non-league clubs at Wembley, and today two more will try and get promotion into League One. Stockport were in the 6th tier only 4 years ago, and Paul Simpson was Carlisle's player manager the last time they were promoted back-to-back from non-league into League One back in 2006. Ben Barclay scored their winner in the semi-final against Bradford, but he can't play today because he's on loan from Stockport. So John Mellish returns from suspension, and two changes for Stockport: Ryan Crosdale and Anthony Sarcevic, a promotion specialist at this level. They come in for Joe Lewis and Connor Lemonhay Evans. So the two teams in full: Carlisle, Thomas Holy in goal. A back three: Corey Whelan, Paul Huntington and John Mellish. Joel Senior, Owen Moxon, Callum Guy, Alfie McCalmont and Jack Armour across midfield. John Kamani Gordon and Joe Garner up front, which means that the leading goal scorer, Christian Dennis, remains on the bench, although only 3 goals in the last 18 games for him. For Stockport, Ben Hinchcliffe in goal, Akil Wright, Fraser Horsfall and Chris Hussey, their back three. Carl Knoll, Callum Camps, Ryan Crosdale, Anthony Sarcevic and Ryan Rydell across midfield, with Isaac Olafe and Paddy Madden in attack. Will Collar is on the bench despite 13 goals this season, but he's another player who has maybe run out of steam towards the end of the season. Only 1 goal in his previous 12 games. Our referee is Tom Neal, assisted by Alex James and Christo Karavayev. Simon Mather is the 4th official. He was in charge of a playoff success recently for Dave Challoner when he was the Hartlepool manager against Torquay in the National League playoff 2 years ago. And we do have VAR today. Neil Swarbrick is in charge at Stockley Park. And a point on that, Dave Connolly, because VAR for League Two is a rather alien concept, so players will have to maybe be aware of that today. Yeah,
they will. I mean, obviously, but I'm sure both managers would have touched on that with their players in terms of blocking, marking, being careful in the box, set pieces, you name it. The offside, you've got to get your defensive line right. So, yeah, that will have an impact. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're not talking about VAR, but we certainly just want the right outcome.
Both managers lost at Wembley during their playing career, but one of them will be successful here today and take their side back into the 3rd tier of English football. Stockport have been to hell and back since. Carlisle have also experienced non-league football in recent times, but here in the sunshine at Wembley, it is a massive opportunity for two clubs here today, Carlisle United and Stockport County. And it's Stockport County in the blue shirts and white shorts who will get the game underway, playing towards the west end of the stadium. Carlisle in their chain strip of maroon and orange, and the League Two playoff final is underway, live on Talksport 2, the only place you can hear all 3 playoff finals and the final day of the playoff season in the Premier League as well. And the ball is played forward quickly for Stockport, wide to this near side, and very quickly Carlisle United have a free kick in their left-back area. And Carlisle do seem to have more supporters inside the stadium, although it's fairly close to a 50-50 split. The top tier of Wembley is not used here today. The corporate areas, the middle ring is fairly sparsely populated, but many of the fans are grouped in the lower tier of the bowl here. And we have the Stockport County fans around us here in our commentary position for Talksport 2. As Stockport attacking the goal away to our right in the first half. Look to bring it forward with Camps down this right-hand side. Quickly forward towards Olafe on the edge of the penalty area, but Carlisle will clear, but it's clipped over the top by Crosdale again. Right into nod the ball away for Carlisle is Paul Huntington, their captain, who scored in a playoff final here for Preston back in 2015. And at the other end, Fraser Horsfall will go all the way back to Ben Hinchcliffe, the Stockport goalkeeper, who was involved with them in the National League North, in the 6th tier of English football, and he has been part of Stockport's journey back up the leagues in recent times. 35 years of age, but he showed in the semi-final that he is someone who is still capable of making an impact for his team, as it's played long downfield by Hussey on the far side in towards Paddy Madden, and now Sarcevic takes over for Stockport down their left, looking to attack, whips the cross into the penalty area. Madden with a looping header onto the roof of the netting, and it will be a goal kick for Carlisle.
Yeah, he was just on the street, on the stretch there, Paddy Madden. Good start from Stockport County, very calm and composed, not afraid to hit a Laffy in behind and then play off second balls. And yeah, it's been really positive for them, nice and bright, just forcing Carlisle back. Good ball in the box, wasn't it? Just Paddy Madden was slightly ahead of him, couldn't quite keep the header down. Good start though from Stockport.
2 minutes played here at Wembley. Carlisle 0, Stockport 0 in the League 2 playoff final on the home of the EFL. Talksport 2, long downfield from Thomas Holy, the Czech goalkeeper for Carlisle. It's kept alive on this near side by Jack Armour, and Stockport will clear, but Carlisle will have the opportunity to load the penalty area now as Armour takes a throw in just in front of us, level with the edge of the Stockport County penalty area, and it's short in towards John Kamani-Gordon, and now Armour again, but it's all very congested on this near side, so he just runs the ball off Kyle Knoll, and it will be another throw in for Carlisle. Once again, Stockport finished 3 points clear of today's opponents during the regular season, so not too much between the teams. Stockport had an opportunity to get promoted on the final day, but that was closed out by Northampton. And Carlisle were looking set for automatic promotion, but they rather fell away with only 2 wins in their final 11 games, as Chris Hussey brings it forward for Stockport again on the far side. A good ball down the line and an opportunity to play it early into the penalty area, where it's headed away by Paul Huntington, and eventually Carlisle will get the ball clear. It was back towards Sarcevic on the edge of the penalty area, and in the end it's through towards Thomas Holy once again.
Yeah, excellent from Stockport County once more. Hussey down that left hand side, great run. I mean, this all started with Carlisle had a simple throw, Armour with a throw in and around the Stockport County box. You just think, right, just get a set, get back, put it in the box, you know, or spend time on the ball. Instead, they miss communication, they lose the ball, and straight away Stockport County are at them again. So they just need to settle down here, Carlisle, and just have a spell in the Stockport County half if they can.
Free kicks given for a challenge by Fraser Horsfall all over Joe Garner, the veteran in his 4th spell with Carlisle. Began his career there, and he's been around the championship for most of his career. Was successful here alongside his teammate Paul Huntington with Preston back in 2015 in the League 1 playoff, and he has kept his place ahead of the leading goal scorer Christian Dennis at the end of the season. And now the League 2 set-piece king Owen Moxon is over this free kick for Carlisle, whipped high towards the far post, and it's too long this time, and it's one bounce behind for a goal kick, and that's very rare from him.
Yeah, a bit wasteful, you know, certainly. It's his first real moment in the game, I guess. Put too much on it. Far too high and handsome. Didn't give his teammates a chance. That kind of epitomises, I guess, how Carlisle have started here. Contrast with Stockport County, building out, playing out from the back. Excellent. Not afraid then to bang it in behind and pick up second balls like this.
Both teams have a fairly checkered playoff history, and that win in the semi-final for Bradford was Carlisle's first success at the 4th attempt in the EFL playoffs, although they were promoted from non-league via the playoffs when they beat Stevenage back in 2005 when Paul Simpson was the player manager, and then they got promoted straight away through League 2 to League 1.
I mean, here and now they just need to keep hold of the ball, Carlisle. They just keep giving it back to Stockport County under enormous pressure.
And now it's nodded down on the edge of his own penalty area by Carlisle, but Callum Guy giving it to Alafe on this near side, but he's quickly closed down. But now Noel will bring it forward for Stockport, but his cross to the near post is cleared away by Moxon, and now on the stretch Guy will play it forward, and Kamani-Gordon was almost away for Carlisle on this near side, twisting and turning away from Chris Hussey, who was just drawn out of position for a second, and now Guy works it wide towards the far side and Corey Whelan. And the early cross into the penalty area, seeking out Garner. He and Horsfall are going to have a right old tussle throughout the day here. And in the end, Horsfall will clear. But with 6 minutes play, Carlisle have it back again with Alfie McCalmont on loan from Leeds, the Northern Ireland international. It's pumped long down the line, but it's overhit and it will go out of play. And in terms of style of play, David, what should we expect from both Stockport and Carlisle?
Well, I think certainly Stockport have settled down really, really well. You know, goal kicks, they just play it short and they build out from the back. They're not afraid to drag Carlisle and make the pitch huge. They've got the front two as well, Madden and Olafe to hit. So, I mean, at the minute, you say Stockport County have been superb. Carlisle just haven't settled, haven't managed to retain the ball at all.
A long ball played forward again for Kamani Gordon to chase for Carlisle, but he's challenged on this near side by Hussey, and it will be a Carlisle corner, the first of the game. And Chris Hussey is having to do plenty of chasing across from the left-hand side to the right early on for Carlisle, because Akil Wright has been found missing in action on one or two occasions as he looks to push forward to support the midfield. And Moxon will take the corner kick on this near side for Carlisle, and they have scored 17 goals from corners in League Two this season. That's the highest tally, and many of them have come from Owen Moxon. The delivery swirled high to the far post and it's headed away by Horsfall, and it will be a throw into Carlisle on the far side there, right.
Yeah, much better delivery there, wasn't it, from Moxon? Horsfall doing as you want him to do, as that central centre half in the middle of the 6-yard box, just cleared the danger. Headed it to the opposite side.
7 minutes played, 0-0 here at Wembley, and the pace of the game rather being dictated by the very warm conditions early on here. There is a strip of shade on the far side, which is currently the Stockport right. And from that area, the long throw has been delivered into the penalty area, but it's headed away at the near post. Madden will try and win it back, and then he was shoved over at midway inside the Stockport half by Corey Whelan, and that will be a free kick for Stockport County.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that drops short, isn't he, Paddy Madden? Out of possession. He's the one that's a lot deeper, just picking up the holding midfield player for Carlisle. And it just means Olafe, he's the highest one, the one that's going to provide the threat in behind. Bang it up to him, and then we get our team up the pitch. And so far, it's worked pretty well.
Paddy Madden, now 33 years of age, a former Carlisle player, and he was part of the Oval side, scored here a decade ago when they beat Brentford in the League One playoff final. Yeovil got promotion to the second tier. Next season, they will be kicking off in the National League South, the 6th tier of English football. And of course Stockport were in the National League North only 4 years ago. It's been a rapid rise, and they're looking to head to the 3rd tier for the first team since 2010, as it's cleared away by Moxon on the edge of the penalty area, but it's quickly closed down. And now Akil Wright will gather for Stockport again. He's got time to deliver a cross into the penalty area, in towards the near post, and it wasn't too far away from Olafe, but it's claimed by Thomas Holley.
Yeah, he was just invited to cross, wasn't he? No pressure on him whatsoever. And Olafe, I think, is appealing that he might have been pulled back there in the box, but I don't think he was. Certainly Carlisle just got to get up to the ball a little bit quicker, try and close the cross coming in. They also dropped really deep by the time that ball was crossed in. They're almost on top of their goalkeeper.
Horsfall rising again above Garner, who has barely got off the ground so far. Garner's really at his best as he receives the ball on the ground with that low centre of gravity, as he just wipes the sweat off his balding palate on a very warm day here.
I just wonder, looking at that, I mean, you mentioned about VAR at the start. Corey Whelan there, I think he had a little bit of contact with Olafe. He probably has got away with it, but you know, he's got to remember in the back of his mind, there is VAR today, so hands down, be careful in the box.
Callum Camps has now been fouled on this near side, and it will be a free kick for Stockport. They've lost playoffs in Leagues 1 and 2, the National League and National League North. Their one success came under Jim Gannon back in 2008 in the League 2 playoff final when they beat Rochdale here at Wembley. They lost 4 times in 5 years back in the 1990s under the legendary South American manager Danny Bergara, and that included defeats here to get into the 2nd tier to both Peterborough and Burnley. And Dave Challoner beat them when he was with Hartlepool in the National League playoffs a couple of years ago.
Well, one thing they have done well, Stockport, building from the back, is hit the channels well and then play off second balls, and if not, they get it wide, get a throw and get it in the box. They've got another one here.
Camps now from the throw-in, looks to release Knoll. The cross-in takes a deflection, and in the end, the flag, though, has been raised on this near side. It won't be a corner. It will be a free kick for Carlisle for offside. With 11 minutes played here on Talksport 2. It's goalless here at Wembley. Don't forget, the final day of the Premier League season covered in full across the Talksport network. Adrian Durham over on Talksport will have Game Day Live from Goodison Park, where a win for Everton against Bournemouth, they will be safe. Commentary on Talksport at 4:30 of Leicester against West Ham with Sam Matterface and Scott Minto. Here on Talksport 2, following this game, we go to Ellen Road for Leeds against Spurs with Ian Danta and Perry Groves, and there will be 4 more commentaries at Villa, Southampton, Chelsea and Palace, all available on the Talksport app. It's a great day to download the Talksport app if you haven't done so already, and you can swipe between whichever commentary you want to throughout the day. And of course, we're back here tomorrow live on Talksport 3 o'clock, and there'll be close to 80,000 here for the League One playoff final, the local derby between Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday, with Jim Proudfoot, Chris Owellamo and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Can Sheffield Wednesday replicate the emotion of the miracle of Hillsborough in that semi-final success against Peterborough? Or will Barnsley beat them for the 3rd time this season? We will find out over on Talksport tomorrow, and the Talksport network, the only place to hear all 3 playoff finals and the final day of the Premier League season. And we still have all 3 European finals to come on Wednesday. Sevilla against Roma, the only place you can hear that game on national radio is on Talksport. Next Saturday we're here for the FA Cup final, the Manchester derby at 3 o'clock. Wednesday the 7th, the Europa Conference League final will be on Talksport, live from Prague, West Ham against Fiorentina. And then Saturday the 10th of June, we switch from Prague to Istanbul for Manchester City against Inter Milan in the Champions League final. It is a very busy time at the end of a very busy season across the Talksport network. And of course, we will be back and raring to go, whatever division, whatever day of the week, across the Talksport network when the season resumes at the start of August, as Stockport have won another free kick on this near side, midway inside the Carlisle half, wide on the right. Paul Simpson is having words with Simon Mather, the 4th official, claiming that Callum Camps maybe went down rather too easily there. But once again, Dave, Carlisle giving up possession and set pieces very easily in their own territory.
And they just can't keep the ball. I mean, a moment ago they were in Stockport's half, they lost it pretty cheaply, and then Stockport pump it long, play for a throw, win a free kick, and it's now going to come in their box.
Played in high by Hussey, and it was a carbon copy really of Moxon's free kick for Carlisle a few moments earlier. Swirled way too high, way too hard, straight out for a goal kick, and there are plenty of nerves out there.
Yeah, disappointing delivery, I guess. That you want to beat the first man, that's for sure, so you get enough elevation on it, but I think both teams have shown that their radar's just off a little bit. I mean, for Carlisle, they just need to start keeping the ball. I mean, let's see if they can at least win a flick on here from the goal kick. They can't.
Horsfall with another header forward. Madden will scamper forward, but it's guided back by Whelan towards Holy, who clears downfield again. 15 minutes played here on Talksport 2. And it's Carlisle 0, Stockport 0 in the League 2 playoff final. Moxon quickly forward again towards Kamani Gordon, and this time a free kick's been given to Carlisle. The challenge coming in for it behind by Akil Wright, and it will be a free kick for the Cumbrians. And there is plenty of support to have made the long journey down here today over the weekend from the far northwest to the northwest of London. Owen Moxon is over the free kick for Carlisle again. He's had one sighter, and Moxon's delivery this time is into the 6-yard area. Hinchcliffe was caught in mid-air as he claimed it there, and he stayed down the goalkeeper, and the free kick has been given. And the applause you could hear was for Lewis Michael Kirkpatrick, a Carlisle United fan who has passed away recently, and both sets of supporters showing their support for his family there as Ben Hinchcliffe was clattered into in mid-air there. It was
Joe Garner that just caught him at the back post. I mean, look, I think it was a fair challenge from Joe. He was going for the ball, his eyes were on the ball, but he did catch the goalkeeper.
Hinchcliffe was the hero for Stockport in the semi-final. Also scored a penalty in a playoff final once in non-league for Fylde back in 2014, so he could be valuable on both sides of the ball if this final goes all the way, as Whelan is penalised again for Carlisle. It's another Stockport free kick just inside the Carlisle half, in the shade on the far side, the welcome shade for the players at the moment, and it's Hussey who will take it. 17 minutes played. Neither goalkeeper has had a shot to save so far in the game, and it's been a typically cagey start, but Stockport have had more of the possession, and the blue shirts are flooding the Carlisle penalty area once again here. High from Hussey towards the far post. Horsfall beaten to it though in the air by Huntington, and Mellish tries to play it forward to McCalmont on this near side, but he runs it out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Stockport County. And Akhil Wright, who was promoted from National League North with York City in a playoff last season, plays the throw-in down the line, looking for Knoll, but again the ball just evades his grasp and it's out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Carlisle United once again. And you're listening to Carlisle against Stockport in the EFL League 2 final, live on Talksport 2 with Carlin. We're made by our mates, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Well, McCalmont again just losing possession for Carlisle. They just cannot keep the ball.
Well, they were a team who often preferred to play on the counter-attack for much of the season. Only 2 wins in their final 11 games in the regular season. And that win against Bradford, only their 3rd win since the start of March. But of course they were one of the relegation favourites at the start of the campaign, after just about surviving last season when Paul Simpson arrived. They were one off the bottom. Now Knoll with a low cross into the penalty area, looking for a Lafay, and he claims he was hauled down in the penalty area once again by Whelan, but he fails to get the shot in, and it's claimed by Holy.
Well, it's unlucky. It's a really good move, because again it just starts with a long ball into the channel. They win the throw, play it short. Akhil Wright, lovely pass into the feet of Paddy Madden, spins it round the corner for Knoll. Lovely first time cross in, but Alafe trying to take it down and control it. Touch a little bit heavy. Again, he looked to be appealing maybe for a possible pull on his shirt, but I don't think so. But once more, Stockport, I think, have played really, really well here. Settled down far better, far superior.
Both managers suffered the losing feeling here as players at Wembley. Dave Challoner and his assistant Clint Hill were in the Tranmere side that lost the League Cup final to Leicester back in 2000, when Challoner was winging those long throws from almost the halfway line into the penalty area. And Paul Simpson lost here with Manchester City in the full Members' Cup final, a bizarre 5-4 defeat against Chelsea, and also with Derby County in playoff finals and Anglo-Italian Cup finals. But they've had success as managers in playoffs before, and Dave Challoner looking for his 7th promotion today, and so many of those have come with playoffs already, with Colwyn Bay and Fylde in non-league, and Hartlepool United back into the Football League a couple of years ago. And you look how they've withered away since his departure to Stockport halfway through last season, as Garner wins another free kick for Carlisle on the halfway line.
Well, they'll probably be pleased with this little bit of respite, having a set piece, but again, a channel ball from Stockport. They keep it alive. Alafe is such a willing runner. Horsfall's been superb at the back for Stockport County as well, so this free kick, as I say, Simpson will probably just hope they can keep the ball alive here in a Stockport County half.
Free kick played long towards the edge of the penalty area by Mellish. It was flicked on, but then claimed by Hinchcliffe. Stockport finishing 4th in the table. That's been the most successful position in the 4th tier of playoffs. But not too many times in recent years. Only 3 times in 15 years, and that's going back to Stockport's success back in 2008. And Carlisle finishing 5th, that's been the least successful finishing position in the playoffs. Only 5 victories in 19 finals, and often in League Two, particularly in recent years, the team which has finished 7th and often squeezed into the playoffs, they've gone all the way and managed to win promotion. That's happened 4 times in the last decade, but not this time around, as Garner does well to win the ball in the air ahead of Croasdale, and then Croasdale hauls him down and Carlisle win a free kick midway inside the Stockport county half. Croasdale claiming that he was being fouled by Garner initially, but Tom Neal, the referee, having nothing to do with that, and already Garner's physicality is beginning to maybe swing the game in Carlisle's favour.
Yeah, possibly. I think although the bounce of the ball just deceived Croasdale. Coming back to Stockport County, I mean, I really like how they build out from the back with Hinchcliffe. He just bowls the ball out to Horsfall and then they go and play. And often it's Joe Garner is 1v3 really, plus the goalkeeper 1v4. Stockport County get out so easily.
Free kick for Carlisle, midway inside the Stockport half. Moxon delivers it, looking for Garner with the header. Excellent save by Hinchcliffe. Garner unmarked inside the penalty area, looked to arrow the header towards the far corner, but Hinchcliffe did superbly well, and 2 veterans really shining in the sunshine at Wembley there.
Yeah, brilliant delivery. That's what helps. The pace is on the ball. Joe Garner with the flick header. Hinchcliffe, good save down low to his right hand side. Save you probably expect him to make, but nonetheless it's a good one.
Well, that's the value of Joe Garner, and he lost Horsfield there inside the penalty area, and Moxon will now take the corner for Carlisle with 23 minutes played here. 0-0 at Wembley. It will be an in-swinger from Moxon again for his hometown club, into the near post, and it's headed away deep inside the 6-yard area by Croasdale. And then it's won back initially by Guy, but Alafe robs him, and now Stockport will try and break over the halfway line. The recovery challenge comes in, and it was a foul on this near side by Mellish, and it will be a yellow card for the player just back from a 3-match ban.
Yeah, I think he knew that he had to take out Alafe. He couldn't allow him to get ahead of steam up. He was just charging over the halfway line, went to ground. And I think Paul Simpson feels that there's been a few decisions maybe gone against his team, but I don't think he have any complaints about that one, that's for sure. I mean, maybe he got a piece of the ball, maybe, possibly, but on the follow-through, no, he certainly caught the player.
Wrapped his legs around Alafe, who was in full flight. Horsfall from the free kick, high up towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed in field by Sarcevic, but nodded clear. Quickly returned by Camps towards the edge of the box, but Carlisle defend their line again stoutly. And on this near side, Moxon under pressure from Madden. Turns well and plays a good ball forward up towards the halfway line. McCalmont having his shirt pulled by Camps, but he's able to play it wide towards Whelan. And Whelan now comes over the halfway line for Carlisle. The maroon shirts moving forward in the shade on the far side, but Gordon is quickly robbed by Hussey, and it will be a throw-in to Carlisle on the halfway line. And at the moment, Carlisle are not really getting John Kamani-Gordon involved in the game enough.
No, it looks like there's a little pause here for a drinks break, but
not surprised. 24 minutes played, and the referee very sensibly in these conditions is sending both sets of players over towards the technical areas to take on some fluids, and they are being eagerly gulped down by both sets of players at the moment, and it's an opportunity for both managers to get their team in and maybe make 1 or 2 points with 25 minutes played here on Talksport 2. Carlisle 0, Stockport 0 in the League 2 playoff final. Don't forget, coming up, the final day of the playoff season in League 2 and the final day of the Premier League season, also covered on the Talksport network. Leicester against West Ham on Talksport at 4:30. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham coming live from Goodison Park. Leeds against Spurs here on Talksport 2. They and Leicester need to win and hope that Everton drop points. And the games at Villa, Southampton, Chelsea and Palace, all available on the Talksport app. And it's interesting that the drinks for Carlisle were being handed out by the son, or rather the drinks for Stockport being handed out by the son of the Carlisle manager. And On our monitors, we can see Ben Barclay, the Stockport County player, of course, on loan from Carlisle, sat in his Carlisle tracksuit just behind the bench, and a watching brief for him here today. And I wonder deep down who wants to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think the drinks break, it's a shame they couldn't have wheeled maybe the drinks over into the shade, and the players could have had a quick drink and basically got back on the pitch and got on with the game a little bit quicker. I know it is hot out there, but...
Yeah, they played the junior game before the start on that far side, I think, so the kids were in the shade, and as a result it was a great time for the kids to run around and try and score a goal at Wembley, but of course no such luck for the players here, and that strip of shade is gradually receding the longer the first half goes on.
Yeah, and that will play. I mean, I used to hate playing in the sun, hate the heat, I really did. I found it really difficult to play in the heat, and some players might be like that out there today, that's for sure.
Well, you were a player who lived off your movement, so you've always got to be mobile, which in the heat maybe takes more out of you, of course. Now it's played forward quickly by Croasdale for Stockport, wide to this near side. Camps doing well to keep the ball in place. Closed down by Moxon, but Camps comes away with the ball. Low to Madden on the edge of the penalty area. Camps was caught late there. Madden tries to thread the ball through. It's kept alive and then volleyed towards goal by Croasdale, but he jabs it 6 or 7 yards wide.
Yeah, it's unlucky. I mean, Paddy Madden involved again, you know, trying to be really clever and cute. Little pass through the eye of a needle was cut out. Eventually ricochets forwards to Croasdale. Couldn't keep it on target. But once more, Stockport showing, you know, how well they've been playing. They've been superb so far. Great run there from Callum Camps, breaking into the box, and yeah, excellent start from Dave Challoner's men.
27 minutes played. They were the form team in League Two at the end of the season, and that defeat in the first leg of their playoff semi-final against Salford followed 14 unbeaten games at the end of the regular season. Both of these sides lost 1-0 away from home before heading back to home turf to get the job done, as Alafe is penalised for taking a ride on the back of Paul Huntington. But interestingly, it wasn't given by the assistant, who was about 2 yards away.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he is so game, Alafe. He's a real handful. You know, any ball into the channel, if it's a 50-50, he makes something of it. And there, I mean, it was a physical challenge, but I'm not too sure that was a foul. He had his eyes on the ball.
Player signed for Millwall in January. 3 goals in the closing weeks of the season, including that equalising goal in the second half against Salford in the second leg. Now Garner on the far side for Carlisle. Looks to play it forward towards Senior, who was forward the wing back, but it's booted away into those Stockport fans in the shade on the far side. Welcome shade here today, and it will be a throw into Carlisle again, with 29 minutes played here on Talksport 2 at Wembley, the League 2 playoff final, and it's Stockport County 0, Carlisle United 0. And it's the Stockport fans around us who tried to turn up the volume once again. McCalmont for Carlisle on the far side, clipped over the top by Guy, who scored a spectacular goal in the semi-final. Oh, Stockport have lost it. It's low into the penalty area. Now, was there a challenge there inside the box? In the end, I think the ball went behind before it was played in towards the penalty area. It was Jack Armour who was waiting 6 yards out, and the assistant's flag was raised. Yeah, it's a good ball in, but the ball had gone over the line, so it was a goal kick. I mean, just come back to Stockport County as they build out from the back. I mean, they do this really well. The goalkeeper just often has a decision, right, am I going to kick it long, or do I give it to Horsfall and then we go and play, depending what Carlisle do. This time they pushed 2 up top, so they've gone, no, okay, we won't risk it, we'll go and play long. But yeah, they've done it really, really well, Stockport County, building from the back. Alafe beaten to it in the air by Huntington, and now Horsfall at the heart of the back 3 for Stockport. He lost in the playoffs with Northampton last season after an excellent goal-scoring campaign, scored 9 goals for the Cobblers, and his former manager is watching here today as Hussey brings it forward on the far side, cuts infield towards the edge of the penalty area. Good ball in, looking for Madden at the near post, but Holy comes forward to claim for Carlisle. Yeah,
good deception from Hussey. Initially faked to deliver an in-swinging ball, but outswinger, sorry, then chopped back inside, then went with more of a driven delivery, but didn't quite get enough purchase on it, straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Difficult for Paddy Madden to get a run across his man there, that under-hit cross.
Of course, Orient, Stevenage and Northampton already promoted from League 2 this season, and it's never a bad time to get promotion, David, but with Wrexham and Notts County coming up and teams like Morecambe and Accrington coming down, it's going to be a lot tougher for whoever loses this game today next season.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was reading what Graham Cochran was saying, and basically the division could be split in two, you know, the sort of top 12 and, you know, maybe the bit of the money and the budget, etc., and then the bottom 12. It could be like two divisions within one, and, you know, there might be something in that.
Sarcevic with a free kick for Stockport, played short to Horsfall on the halfway line. 31 minutes played, high up towards the edge of the penalty area. Not clear though on this near side, but quickly returned by Camps, and the looping header from Alafe is gently into the arms of Thomas Holy once again. And the only real chance so far in the game, the header from Joe Garner, which was kept out superbly by Ben Hinchcliffe, the Stockport goalkeeper. And it's a typical playoff final so far, maybe dictated by the conditions, but it is extremely warm out there, and I think both teams are maybe prepared to slug this one up the distance. Headed away by Camps on this near side for Stockport, but it's Carlisle who quickly play it forward again. It's up rather than away from Horsfall on the edge of the penalty area. And Carlisle with more possession and more shots so far, and they have a free kick once again just inside the Stockport half for a foul by Alafe.
Yeah, once more on Huntingdon, and I think Huntingdon's saying, well, you know, if that was me, I might be getting booked by now. That's 2 fouls that have been given against Alafe.
John Mellish, the central defender for Carlisle, the only player booked so far. There's a ball towards the edge of the penalty area, sliced up in the air by Madden, but it's back towards his own goalkeeper Hinchcliffe, and Stockport County have the opportunity to clear downfield once again. But they're unable to release Sarcevic on the far side. Rydell was also involved, but Senior won it back for Carlisle, and they have a throw-in close to the halfway line. And it was Ryan Crosdale who was drawn across there to try and make the challenge, and at the moment, Carlisle are in the ascendancy here with 12 minutes to play in the first half.
Well, if I was critical, I'd go back to that free kick a minute ago where Moxon faked to deliver the ball, and they haven't really worked out. He changed the angle, played it across the pitch, but they made a right mess of it.
Now Alafe coming forward for Stockport on this near side, has the opportunity to take his man on. The shot is deflected, and it's in! And Isaac Alafe scores for Stockport County! His first real opportunity, and the shot took a massive deflection off John Mellish and looped up over a helpless Thomas Holy, and the side who were in the 6th tier only 4 years ago could be heading back to League One. It is Carlisle United 0, Stockport County 1.
Well, I think on the balance of play, I don't think you can say they don't deserve that. I think Stockport County have been superb, and that man Alafe has been a real thorn in the Carlisle side. He's been such a willing runner. He's left 1v1 in the box. It is a little bit acute, the angle, the right hand side. I think he might be actually trying to cross this, and as it is, it looks like Mellish is trying to block the cross. It's just diverted over Holy. It's in the back of the net, but Stockport County won't care. They've been really, really good. I think they've been excellent today, and they've got the goal that I think their play's deserved.
Yeah, definitely a cross, I think, looking at the replay. May even go down as an own goal in the end. Mellish sending the ball looping high over his goalkeeper, who was at the near post, and he was out, well, not really out of position. There's nothing he could do thanks to the deflection, and with 10 minutes to play in the first half, Stockport County lead. And only 6 teams in League Two playoff history have come back from a goal down to win. And on a day like today, with all the heat and all the tension, scoring the first goal is so important. And Stockport are coming forward again now with Knoll on this near side and sliding in to make the challenge as Camps. And Stockport have a corner. Whoa. They are sensing a second goal here.
Oh, they're in the ascendancy. Listen to that. The Stockport County fans right in front of us, raising the roof. Once more, it's a good attack. You know, this time Sarcevic at the heart of things, and he's been kind of on the periphery today, but even without him really being involved, Alafe's been superb, and they got their goal lead. What they want to do now is maybe get another one before half time if they can.
A second goal now, and it's a very long way back for Carlisle. Hussey will take the corner kick, and it will be an in-swinger. Tom Nield, the referee, is just sorting one or two things out inside the penalty area. And it's Alafe and Guy, the two players he's speaking to. Of course, the officials here do have the benefit, if that's the right word, of VAR here today. Hussey with the corner, high to the far post. Holy comes and claims unchallenged. Quickly booms it downfield, looking for Gordon, but it's covered well by Croasdale, who quickly plays it forward to the far side, helped back into the penalty area. Madden beaten to it in the air by Huntington. Huntington now tries to win it back, and it drops on the edge of the penalty area for Callum Camps, and he snatches at the shot, and it's well wide. But at the moment, Carlisle yet to ride the punch of the opening goal.
Yeah, and misguided this is from the goalkeeper, because they've been under enormous pressure. Stockport County have just scored. They got a corner immediately, pumped the ball in the box. You come and claim it, and why do you try and distribute to a lone front man who's got one marking behind and one in front? You just don't do that. Just settle down, take this thing out of the game if you can, and just get your team up the pitch.
I wonder if it will go down as an own goal by John Mellish in the end, because the cross from Alafe may actually have been heading away from goal. Yeah, it's been given as a John Mellish own goal for now, although I'm sure Isaac Alafe will be keen to claim it, and John Mellish won't be keen to claim it. As they cross into the penalty area for Moxon for Carlisle is cleared. Fired back in by Guy. He got real power behind that, but Carl Knoll was in the way to block it.
Good strike, wasn't it? That was goal bound, that's for sure.
A high ball played forward again. Hussey steps in before Garner. Carlisle, of course, came from a goal down after their first leg against Bradford to win at home, now having to do something similar here at Wembley as Madden plays it wide to the far side. Rydell coming forward for Stockport again. The cross into the penalty area, balloons behind off senior. It will be another corner, and the Stockport fans know their team are really on top here with 7 minutes to play in the first half, leading by a goal to nil on Talksport 2. And they would not be flattered by a second goal on the balance of play at the moment.
No, and you would say whenever they've been in that final third, they've always got something, haven't they? Or look to cross or get a shot off. You know, they've worked the penalty area entries and the final third entries really well and been efficient. Had an end product, Stockport County.
Corner kick. Floated high towards the far post once again. It's allowed to bounce inside the penalty area. Moxon brings it under control. Lovely Cruyff turn from him inside his own box to evade Sarcevic. That's confidence from the Carlisle-born player, but Sarcevic comes back to make the challenge. The player looking for his fourth successive promotion here today. Sarcevic with a high ball towards Alafe inside the penalty area, but a good defensive header back from Corey Whelan to find his goalkeeper.
Oh, it's unlucky. It was a nearly ball there to Alafe, but it looks like Moxon might have hurt himself and Sarcevic here. There's that little coming together, as you say, lovely little bit of skill under pressure inside his own box from Moxon, little Cruyff turn. But Sarcevic stuck to his task, didn't give it up, did he? Chased Moxon all the way back. But it looks like maybe Sarcevic is worse for wear here. He's lying down, he's called the physio on.
Well, Anthony Sarcevic, a player who has such a love affair with promotion from League Two. He was the match-winning hero for Fleetwood here back in 2014, and more recently successful with Plymouth via points per game and Bolton Wanderers before making the decision to step down from League One to the National League. May have been a financial one, of course, to leave Bolton and join Stockport, and got promotion last season. But he can be a mercurial talent, and he is a player who at this level can really make an impact, and he looks okay to come back onto the field of play.
Yeah, he didn't actually want to go off, because then he's got to wait for the referee to say he can, and obviously the ball is back in play then, and Stockport County are then a man down, but hopefully the referee will get him on the pitch pretty quickly. Yeah, that's not too shabby.
Well, Paul Simpson's Wembley record as a player was played 4, lost 4. He did have playoff success, scored for Blackpool in the League Two playoff final back in 2001, but that was at Cardiff. And he was briefly Stockport manager back in 2010, but the club was in free fall, heading down the divisions from League One to non-league in successive years. 3 relegations in 4 years in the end, and it was 6 long years for Stockport in the 6th tier, National League North. And a number of these players playing for Stockport here today have had experience of playing at that level, so they will really relish the opportunity to move up to the 3rd tier again here, as Challoner has to duck as a clearance from his goalkeeper balloons high into the technical area.
Well, I can understand what Dave Challoner's saying here, because, you know, Carlisle had a player offside and Horsfall played the ball back to his goalkeeper Hinchcliffe, but, you know, clearly there was one, if not more, players offside, and actually he rushed his clearance because of the player closing him down, and actually they haven't done too well out of it. It was Gordon that was clearly offside.
Sarcevic with a long ball forward again, with 3 minutes of normal time to play in the first half here on Talksport 2. Stockport leading Carlisle by a goal to nil. Another late challenge from Carlisle on this near side from McCalmont, who was just told to calm it down by the referee. He caught Ryan Crosdale, and it will be a free kick for Stockport again. And they look to be a team who've got Carlisle's measure at the moment. Dave Challoner just having words with Fraser Horsfall in front of us.
I think Fraser's been superb so far. I've got to be honest, you know, him and the goalkeeper, they work really well at the back in tandem, and, you know, they've settled down, got their goal, dominating play, looking complete control. I mean, Carlisle don't have an out ball. They don't have an Alafe that can chase into the channel. You know, they're pretty small.
Well, it should
front
be John
unit.
Cavani-Gordon, but they're not finding him.
No, but he's nowhere near as effective in the air. You know, nowhere near as Alafe.
High ball played forward again for Stockport, nodded down by Madden into the area, but Moxon is there to clear, and it's long downfield now from Whelan, but at the moment Carlisle simply can't get out. They do have a throw-in on that far side, and they look to be a team who need half-time here fairly quickly to get into the dressing room, take on some fluids, and get some words of wisdom from Paul Simpson. Dave Challoner and Clint Hill sat on the bench at the moment for Stockport seem relatively comfortable with life as a long ball is played forward again. In fact, Challoner has just moved forward towards the edge of the technical area now as his team look to attack on this near side, but it's quickly cleared away by Carlisle, but now won back by Sarcevic. Good ball in field to find Crosdale on the edge of the penalty area. Square to Camps, who's in space on his right foot. Camps just delays, plays it wide again. Clipped into the penalty area by Noel. Sarcevic just slipping as he tries to bring the ball down. Claims he was hauled down, but not according to the referee. A long ball forward again, and Gordon is beaten to it by Horsfall, and that is the problem for Carlisle at the moment. They simply don't have the threat on the counter-attack, and that really is how their game is based.
Yeah, they're just not retaining the ball. Ball comes up, you know, Horsfall's been superb, so is Ackle Wright, and they just can't retain the ball. Carlisle, Stockport County, well,
there's a mistake by Horsfall, and now an opportunity. Horsfall has been beaten to it, and now Senior breaks into the penalty area for Carlisle, and he had Gordon square of him, but in the end the challenge comes in from Wright, and it bobbles away on the far side. Guy claims he was fouled, but Senior carried on, and Akil Wright there with a brilliant challenge after Horsfall almost sold him short.
Well, I was going to say that they've been exemplary at the back, you know, Horsfall and Akil Wright, and then Horsfall makes a monumental error on the halfway line, just tries to do a little turn, loses possession, and then it's a 1v1, and Akil Wright's get across, he's got to get across and cover, he does, he goes to ground. There's no foul here. I don't see any reason why anything would be given, such as a possible penalty. He makes a good clearance, goes to ground, fair challenge, great defending from Akil Wright.
Yeah, Akil Wright won the ball, and then Senior went down over his prone body on the ground. We will be heading into a minimum of 4 added minutes here at the end of the first half. Of course, we had the water break and a couple of stoppages as well, but that was the chance for Carlisle to get level on the stroke of half time. Now a long throw into the penalty area, nodded towards goal by Moxon at the near post, but it was a hopeful effort, and it's gone behind for a goal kick, and there would be some irony if a team managed by Dave Challoner conceded a goal from a long throw. But at the moment his team are in control of this playoff final, looking for their 3rd promotion in 5 years. They were taken over by a local businessman, Mark Stott, when they were in the National League North And since then, they have made rapid strides up the leagues, and that could be continuing here today. Alafe winning the aerial duel once again with Callum Camps, but now it's played forward for Carlisle, and here is John Kamani-Gordon. Oh, brilliant run forward into the penalty area, away from right, but he blazes the shot over the top. The first real opportunity for Gordon to use his pace and break into the penalty area, and he did everything right up to the finish.
Oh, he did. I mean, the approach play was outstanding. You know, suddenly Stockport County look a little bit shaky at the back. Great run from Gordon. I mean, he is going away from goal, but he is on his left foot, diagonally across the box, and it looked like possibly the ball just bounced as he took a shot on. It was unlucky. It was a really good run. About to pull the trigger, got under the ball, and maybe it just took a little bobble just as he let fly.
Well, he did well to cut across Horsfall, who couldn't make the challenge as they made the way into the penalty area, but then he was left exasperated as the ball ballooned high over the top. But Paul Simpson appreciating the effort, because that could be their route back into this game in the second half.
Well, it's given them a little bit of encouragement, which really you couldn't see any. Here they go again.
And it's Gordon again. This time he breaks away on this near side from Crowsdale, turns inside towards the edge of the penalty area. Crowsdale comes back with a good challenge, and now Knoll can bring it forward for Stockport over the halfway line, wide towards Madden. He must have the factor 50 on here today, as it's played forward by him, but it's quickly cleared away up to the halfway line by Mellish, whose own goal divides the two sides here. His last goal came against Stockport, but he scored for them here today, as a long ball is played forward by Madden again, and Mellish just hammers it straight up in the air. Almost drops onto the head of Alafe on this near side, the Stockport right. Knoll tries to flick it forward, but it's cleared away by Senior. And now Madden just plays it down the line, just keeping Carlisle penned in, because they have a throw-in 10 yards from the corner flag on this near side, and we have just over a minute of added time to play in the first half here on Talksport 2. Stockport County could be 45 minutes away from yet another promotion, back-to-back promotions. And they will be the first team since Tranmere in 2019 to go straight from non-league through to the third tier. And they would be the 9th team in playoff history to do that, as it's cleared away downfield again by Carlisle, but it will come straight back. Here is Hussey, wide to the far side. Rydell with a high ball forward, looking for the other wing-back Knoll, who heads it down towards the edge of the area, but Mellish has time to bring the ball under control. He's closed down by Alafe, and now a long ball forward, but Wright will get there before Gordon this time, and heads it out of play for a throw into Carlisle. And maybe there's one opportunity here to hurl the ball deep into the penalty area. Yeah, maybe, or just to set them back and across in the box. They need something. I mean, certainly last few minutes give a little bit of encouragement going into half-time, that's for sure. That's half-time, and it's the Stockport County fans who rise to acclaim their team. They have the edge at the moment thanks to an own goal from John Mellish, across from Isaac Alafe, looping high off the central defender over Thomas Holy into the back of the net. That was unlucky for Carlisle, but Stockport overall just about deserved their lead, although Joe Garner forced an excellent save from Ben Hinscliffe, and John Kamani-Gordon shooting over clean through close towards half-time. But at the moment, Stockport's recent success story looks set to continue here at Wembley in the playoff final. It is Carlisle United 0, Stockport County 1.
Nigel, thank you. Don't forget, 4:30 final day from the Premier League. 6 live commentaries on the Talksport network. Later on this afternoon, Talksport Leicester West Ham, Talksport 2 Leeds Tottenham, and 4 more commentaries to get on the Talksport app from Villa, Southampton, Chelsea and Palace. The Talksport app, free to download, simple to download from all your normal providers. First blood, Stockport County in this League 2 playoff final. Isaac Alafe, well, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. Cross-come shot, huge deflection of John Mellish. I think it will remain Dave Connolly, an own goal. It certainly left the keeper absolutely no chance.
Yes, although you would say I think they probably merited that goal, Stockport County. I thought they were excellent. They really settled down into the game, dominated, played the channels, played territory, but had a little bit of craft and guile and quality in around the box. And plus, Alafe's a real handful. Bang it up to him, he'll try and win a flick on, or he'll keep it alive. He's the one that stretches it one way. Madden comes in and links it the other, comes short. I mean, they were excellent. Got the goal, little bit of luck. I think he was trying to cross it, but nonetheless, you'd take that, and they were excellent. Stockport
You've always
County.
spoken about the options that Stockport County have got in the forward part of the pitch, with the likes of Madden dropping in and Alafe going the other way, the wide players stretching the pitch either side, either flank as well. Dave Chandler, the Stockport boss, for much of that first half, sat on a box at the back of his technical area thinking this is going okay.
A Bielsa box. Yeah, it was like a Bielsa box. I mean, look, he would have been pretty content. That's why he was sitting down, pretty content, because he looks at how he plays. I mean, Hinchcliffe did really well. Horsfall, I thought, was excellent at the back. I mean, barring those last couple of minutes where they looked a bit shaky, maybe it was a bit of complacency, taking too long on the ball, trying little tricks and turns, when really just do what you've been doing for the previous 40-odd minutes, and it was working very, very well. So they kind of, like, you know, created those bits of indecision and doubt themselves. Prior to that, they were brilliant. You've got to say, they were really, really good, and an excellent first half performance. Probably you're thinking 1-0. Straight away after that, they might get a second here. As it is, last few minutes, give Carlisle, a little bit of confidence.
Well, a kill right, getting Fraser Horsfall out of jail there on the stroke of half-time.
He did, and as I say, I think Horsfall was just maybe a little bit complacent because things had gone so well. Lost possession, great recovery challenge, which is what you want when you're one centre half and you're chasing back towards your own goal. You're praying that your teammate, your other centre half, is getting across on the cover, and he done that really well. And
John Kamani-Gordon racing clear as well for Carlisle. Their other big chance of the first half here at Wembley. Inside added on time, did it all right until he blazed over. And there's the centre forward in you, Dave Connolly, when you were watching that going, was there a little bobble?
Yeah, maybe in his defence. I mean, look, Garner had the header as well.
Bobble.
Yeah, Garner had the header, which was a good save.
Yeah.
And Gordon, you think, he has been pretty bright on the sporadic occasions. He's been able to get his head up and travel and run with the ball. And he was going away from goal on the diagonal, possibly a bit of a bounce. Otherwise, get your head down and just try and hit it low and true into the opposite corner. He didn't get under the ball, went over the bar, and that was probably that and the Garner header were their two best moments.
Paul Simpson will be thinking, we're nowhere near our best, right? Hardly settled here at Wembley. Made it too comfortable for Stockport, too easy for Stockport.
Well, they turned the ball over too cheaply. You look at the goalkeeper, they've been under enormous pressure. Ball comes in, he claims it, and then just settle down. Get your team up the pitch. I mean, look
here, right? So I spent 5 minutes pitchside, Dave Connolly, before we started this afternoon here on Talksport 2, and I wanted one of those wet towels draped around me just for spending 5 minutes down there. Stifling heat here at Wembley, and Simpson's watching his side gift possession back to Stockport.
Exactly, doing an awful lot of chasing. I mean, look, in their defence, they don't really have that much of it, and the quality up to the front, you can't critique it, but what you would say is that Stockport County at the back have won everything. Horsfall's been aggressive.
You'd expect more from Owen Moxon, for example. His delivery, set-piece delivery's not been up to standard.
No, that's right, but I'm talking just about in general play, because you look at Stockport County and they go back to front really well. They keep it alive, pick up first, seconds, win flick-ons, get in and around the final third, get penalty box entries. Carlisle haven't done that, because when they have gone back to front, they don't play out. Carlisle have not played out once. That means you're going back to front. You must have faith that your front two are going to keep it alive, but they haven't been able to keep it alive, because Stockport County, Horsfall, Acker Wright have been superb. They've won everything. Hussey been excellent. So they haven't been able to make the ball stick, Carlisle.
More with Dave Connolly alongside Knight Ladley. Second half to come shortly here on your home, the EFL Talksport, to the League 2 playoff final. Half-time, it's Stockport County, 45 minutes out from returning to League 1.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with Carly. We're made by our mates. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Pandora's 3 for 2 promotion is on. For a limited time only, buy 2 and get the 3rd free on full price Pandora jewellery. Show someone special that you're thinking of them, or take the chance to treat yourself. But hurry, this offer won't be around for long. Offer ends 4th of June. Available in participating stores and online at pandora.net while stocks last. Terms and exclusions apply.
Jess's spray tan was a disaster. So I'm doing her a nice juicy steak with a fresh zesty salad to cheer her up. I mean, how bad can a bad tan be anyway?
I'm literally the same colour as these carrots.
Oh, no, just you're glowing.
Tesco Finest Steaks. 30-day matured, so they're tender enough for any situation. Selected cuts now on Club Card prices with your Club Card or app. Food Love Stories. Brought to you by Tesco. Ends 4th of June. Majority of larger stores. Club Card or app required.
Here at Carling, we know the magic of match day with your mates. The pre-match build-up banter on the bus. The pride, the pies, the passion, and the pint with your pals down the pub. The teams, the screams, the dreams, and the adrenaline-charged drama of the Emirates FA Cup. Carling, we are made by our mates. Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Vitality Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Paint your walls a shade that'll get your neighbours staring. At Wix, get Dulux Standard 2.5 litre coloured emulsion. Was £21, now 16. Be house proud with Wix. Terms apply.
Sunday afternoon, the Premier League live on Talksport.
High intensity, expressive football.
Leicester City versus West Ham. Coverage from 3, kick-off 4:30.
He's bottled it high into the roof of the net.
Sunday afternoon on Talksport.
It's a sensational goal.
Don't scratch it, it'll make it worse.
From the centre of the football universe.
What a hit!
The League 2 playoff final, live on Talksport 2.
Big problems for Leeds United.
With Alexander-Arnold onto Nunez in behind the defence, slips it past the goalkeeper, and it's 6 for Liverpool. A Leeds defence that has collapsed and capitulated for the second home game in a row.
The crossing is tipped away by Meslier, volleyed in by Wilson, and Fulham take the lead. Very small details, but those are the sort of details which can cost you relegation.
And in comes Sam Allardyce.
There's nobody ahead of me in football terms. That's why I've saved so many football clubs.
Steps up left-footed, and it's saved by Pope. Comes back to Bamford, and he can't convert.
Sam Allardyce wants to find.
West Ham 3, Leeds 1, and Leeds edge further towards relegation. They have plenty to do on the final day of the season.
We have to be our best self. Go and give the fans something to cheer by beating Tottenham, and then wait anxiously to see what happens at Everton.
It's Kane who's going to strike it right footed towards the far corner. Oh, what a hit that is! A brilliant curling effort, arcing away from David Raya.
We want to be competing in Europe, any European competition. It's important for a club this size.
Well, some battle at the bottom of the Premier League table on final day. Leeds United must beat Spurs, and hope other results go their way at Ellen Road for Talksport 2 this afternoon. Our commentary team up there, Ian Danter and the former Arsenal title winner Perry Groves, who join me now. Afternoon, chaps.
Hello. Afternoon, Dan.
How are we?
Yes, we're grand.
Tickety-boo.
Yeah, we're
Excellent.
a good deal less nervous than most of those around us.
Either of you giving Leeds hope? They are, well, they have to. Sam Allardyce side battle for their lives today.
As soon as Sheffield Wednesday came back from 4-1 down against Peterborough, you're thinking anything's possible. So why rule it out? Why rule out the opportunity for Leeds United to do the unthinkable? I mean, I think they can definitely win here. I'm not sure whether it's events elsewhere, Dan, that's going to consign them back to the Championship, but winning here is certainly within their grasp.
I mean, Perry, they've got to win and then hope results, I've said, go their way elsewhere. Would you want to be knowing what's happening elsewhere?
But they'll find out from the crowd anyway, Dan, to be fair. You know, whether you get a roar, maybe if Everton concede first and Bournemouth go 1-0 up, then you'll see that excitement to go around Ellen Road. If Everton go 1-0 up, you'll get that air of resignation, you know, that sort of like dull hum that comes round. So the players, Sam Allardyce said that, you know, he was asked if he had one of his coaching staff telling him what was going on. He said, oh, he'll gauge it from the crowd anyway. But as he said, they've just got to do what's in hand. They've just got to win their game. Just make sure that you do everything you possibly can to give yourself that slim chance of staying up. Because the worst thing that you want is you find out the other two got beat and you've got beat. Do you know what I mean? So you just make sure that you win the game. You couldn't pick a better team to play at this particular time than Spurs. And it's not me with my Arsenal hat on, it's just the facts. No wins in the last 7 away in the Premier League. Conceding goals all over the place. Was it 6 at Newcastle, 5 in the first 21 minutes? That'll go down well if that happened here, wouldn't it? 3
and they're
in the
also
first
now relying
15.
on favours from others just to make the Europa Conference League next season.
Yeah, I think if you was the new manager, well, if they've got their eye on another manager, because everybody keeps turning it down at the moment.
Do you fancy the job?
Do you know what? If you give me all the money in China, Absolutely. No. I'm easily bought. You know what I mean? I'm very
I've
weak-willed.
always said that, Perry.
I'll be your assistant. If you're getting all the money, I'll get a cut.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'll go in as director of football. Sounds
No,
like we've got a deal.
I think if you're looking at it, the new manager's coming in. They wouldn't say it publicly, but you wouldn't want any European football, because then it gives you that whole week, doesn't it, to work on your team, work on your tactics, without the, they would say, inconvenience of the Thursday night football. And I know people thought that if Spurs qualify for the European Conference, Harry Kane might stay because it's Europe. I don't think that's going to sway him either way. I actually think he's already made his mind up.
I think his body language down at the end of the game will be quite telling, because the Tottenham fans will be just down beneath us to the right-hand side in this main stand, and I'll try and keep my beady eyes on Harry Kane and see how he responds to the travelling support at the end of the game, whether we can read anything into body language or anything like that.
I mean, the Talksport Network, Dance, has got everything covered. Final day in the Premier League.
Yes, so I'll have my abacus and slide rule out and Perry's fingers and toes as we work out what the goals mean here and at Everton and at Leicester. Of course, Adrian is going around the grounds on Talksport with goals as they go in from all of the 4:30 kickoffs in the Premier League. But our concentration here on Talksport 2 will be firmly here at Ellen Road. But if anything happens anywhere else, I'll make sure that Talksport 2 listeners are the fastest to know.
Boys, enjoy the game later. Look forward to your work. Ian Dante Pegro's on the call for us up at Ellen Road once we're done here at Wembley from 4:30 on Talksport 2. Leeds clashing with Tottenham. Talksport, as Dance rightly said, they keep you across all the rest, all the best of final day in the Premier League, including Leicester against West Ham. The Foxes, of course, also needing to win to have any chance of staying up on final day in the top flight. We're at Wembley, second half just around the corner in the League Two playoff final. Stockport 1-up under the arch over Carlisle. Dave Chandler and his Hatters 45 minutes away from another promotion.
It's already been a good weekend for former non-league clubs at Wembley, and today two more will try and get promotion into League One. Free kick for Carlisle, midway inside the Stockport half. Moxon delivers it, looking for Garner with the header. Excellent save by Hinchcliffe. Garner unmarked inside the penalty area, looked to arrow the header towards the far corner, but Hinchcliffe did superbly well, and two veterans really shining in the sunshine at Wembley there. Now Alafe coming forward for Stockport on this near side, has the opportunity to take his man on. The shot is deflected and it's in, and Isaac Alafe scores for Stockport County. His first real opportunity, and the shot took a massive deflection off John Mellish and looped up over a helpless Thomas Holy, and the side who were in the 6th tier only 4 years ago could be heading back to League One. It is Carlisle United 0, Stockport County 1. And only 6 teams in League Two playoff history have come back from a goal down to win, but now it's played forward for Carlisle, and here is John Kimani-Gordon. Oh, brilliant run forward into the penalty area, away from right, but he blazes the shot over the top. At the moment, Stockport's recent success story looks set to continue here at Wembley in the playoff final. It is Carlisle United 0, Stockport County 1.
Both sides back out, time for the second half here on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Dave Connolly alongside Nigel Adley on the call.
Thank you, Dan. No changes to either side at half-time. Preston North End, the only side to lose a 4th-tier playoff final after leading at half-time, and that was against Martin O'Neill's Wickham in 1994 when John Beck was in charge of Preston. And it's another long throw expert here in charge today for Stockport, Dave Challoner, and his team are halfway there as Carlisle get the second half underway, wearing maroon and orange, and they are heading towards their supporters at the west end of Wembley in the second half, away to our right. Stockport in their blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks, and David Connolly. The way the first half ended, although Carlisle had the opportunity on the break, Stockport were clearly the side who've adapted better to the conditions.
Yeah, they played very, very, very well. You know, they had their game plan sorted. They looked very strong at the back. Carlisle just couldn't get up the pitch. But look, I'm sure Paul Simpson would have had some words to them saying, look, we've got to do a bit more, do better. Can we get it into our front unit? Can we make it stick? And just help the team get up the pitch. I mean, they got an issue because dealing with Alafe, who's just on the ball now. Paddy Madden's linked the play really well. I mean, they've done well, Stockport County.
And here is Camps coming forward now for Stockport, wide to the far side. Knoll is forward. Madden makes the run down the centre. Headed away, though, by John Mellish, whose own goal divides the two sides as Carlisle clear. Their team is wholly in goal. Whelan, Huntington and Mellish the back three. Senior, Guy, Moxon and Armour in midfield, with McCalmont in behind, Gordon and Garner in attack. The Stockport team, Hinchcliffe in goal. Wright, Horsfall and Hussey their back three. Knoll, Camps, Crowsdale, Sarcevic and Rydell in midfield. Olafe and Madden in attack. Olafe coming forward now on this near side. Back towards Rydell. Good cross into the penalty area, but again, a looping header from Madden is harmlessly wide.
Yeah, he's just on the stretch again. Paddy Madden, maybe he might be better off just trying to flick that onto a teammate, or even leaving it rather than going for goal. Difficult to get that one on target. But once more, Olafe, there he is, working the channels really well. He attracts two players because they've doubled up on him now, Carlisle. And that just means he can just set his teammate back. Hussey, good ball in the box. Just slightly too high for Paddy Madden. But I guess second half has kind of started pretty much how the first half was.
9 teams have previously gone from non-league to League One in successive seasons. Carlisle did it under Paul Simpson in 2005 and 2006. And Stockport County looking to do it here today, and they win a throw-in on the far side, and some managers achieved that and went on to have successful careers at the highest level. Brian Little did it with Darlington. Martin O'Neill did it with Wickham back in the 1990s. And Dave Challoner alongside Clint Hill looks to be on a similar rapid rise up the leagues himself at the moment, either with Stockport County or somebody else. Now Camps on the far side, and he's lost out, but it's quickly played forward again by Horsfall for Stockport down the line, encouraging Knoll to chase, but it will be shepherded behind by Mellish, and it will be a goal kick for Carlisle, defending the goal away to our left, and behind that goal the Stockport fans in the sunshine. And it's up to Carlisle, David, to really try and set the tempo here, but it's difficult to do that because there is tension, there are nerves, and there is heat.
Well, but also, I mean, look, they're not really going to play out from the back, Carlisle, so they're just hoping, you know, from goal kicks, because they've been under pressure, so it means the goalkeeper's going to get a lot of the ball. You know, he's just knocking it long, hoping that they pick up a little flick on or the second balls, but they haven't really done that. So it's been very, very difficult for Carlisle to get up the pitch. They've been forced back. Here they are now, back with their goalkeeper, and they don't really want to play out, so the centre half just turn their back, get ready to go up to the halfway line. They try and pick out Garner on the diagonal, and they just try and keep the ball alive and win a flick on, but they found that really, really difficult to do. And look, they lost that one now. Stockport got to throw in, and Paul Simpson, I think, well, I don't think he's got his hands on his head. He's probably just shielding his eyes from the sun, but he'll kind of be thinking, how am I going to get back into this game, because they just haven't got up the pitch enough, haven't kept the ball in Stockport County's half enough.
Well, he came out in his club blazer and tie for the national anthem, Paul Simpson, but he's now got changed into the tracksuit top and polo shirt, which is much more suitable for standing in the sunshine just in front of us, as another long ball for Stockport is cleared away by Mellish, but it's quickly back over his head, and he will have to turn. And Stockport now, with the advantage of a 1-0 lead 5 minutes into the second half, can just keep doing that. Well, they can just keep playing it in behind.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look at the two managers, touched on Simpson there as I did, and you know, Dave Challoner sitting down has the air of someone who's in complete control. You know, he's sitting there very casual, calm. I think he's giving the air of authority there, that look, his side is set up, we know what we're doing, I don't need to coach them from the edge of my 6-yard box. And two contrasting styles we can see on the technical area today so far.
Dave Challoner took time out at the end of his playing career to do a degree in physiotherapy, and it seemed that was the road he was going to go down following his career, maybe on the medical side of the game, but he was given his opportunity in the depths of the football pyramid, and Carlisle bring it forward now. Lovely turn again for Moxon on the far side, but as he twists and turns, he just runs it out of play. It will be a goal kick. And we've spoken a lot about the football pyramid already this weekend with Luton's success, David, but Dave Challoner got his opportunity in like the 7th or 8th tier as a manager, and, and he's built on that through success, and it shows it can be done.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. put in the hard yards, and you want to get to Wembley, you want to have success, you want to win, you want to manage like when you play, you want to play as high as you can, manage as high as you can.
Has been a Wembley winner here with Fylde in the FA Trophy back in 2019, but his team lost the big game that year against Salford in the National League playoff final, and then he was sacked by Fylde and was on the market for some time before he was snapped up by Hartlepool and got them promoted back into the league. Mellish coming forward now for Carlisle. The cross to the near post is met by Akil Wright. And Stockport's first half performance wasn't quite as dominant as Luton's yesterday in the Championship playoff final, but now Carlisle looking to have the sort of revival that Coventry enjoyed in the second half, as Senior brings it forward now up towards the edge of the penalty area, poked forward looking for Moxon, but sliding in to make the challenge defensively was the captain Paddy Madden, and it will be a throw-in on this near side for Stockport County. And Joel Senior has the room around the pitch here as he dries the ball on his shirt to hurl it long towards the near post. It's in towards Gordon, onto his chest and back towards Senior again, and now Gordon digs out the cross high to the far post. Far too much air on that, and Hinchcliffe has the opportunity to rise and claim the ball. He collides with Akil Wright, his teammate. Both go down inside the penalty area, but with 7 minutes played in the second half, I think they're already looking to manage the clock.
Well, yes and no. I mean, to be honest, I think he had a push in the back there, Akil Wright, from one of the Carlisle players. I couldn't quite see, but he certainly put his hands on him, and that pushed right into his own goalkeeper. So yeah, well, that's their own fault, Carlisle. Now Stockport have the chance just to settle the game down.
Headed forward again by Hendry over the top for Carlisle, but then it's banged long by Hussey for Stockport County, and the ball spending plenty of time in the air in the opening 8 minutes of the second half here on Talksport 2, where Stockport lead Carlisle by 1-0 thanks to an own goal from the central defender John Mellish, although there was little he could do as he diverted in a cross from Isaac Alafe 10 minutes before half-time. Now Sarcevic dinks it down the line for Carlisle down their right, looking to release Knoll on the overlap, but it's closed down by Mellish, and Carlisle will have a throw-in on the far side. You're listening to Carlisle against Stockport in the EFL League 2 final, live on Talksport 2 with Carling. We're made by our mates, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And don't forget, coming up at the end of this game, the conclusion of the Premier League season across the Talksport network. Adrian Durham live from Goodison Park. On Talksport we bring you Leicester against West Ham, Leeds against Spurs here on Talksport 2, as Carlisle come forward again with Rydell cutting in field from the left up towards the edge of the penalty area, but the cross in was whipped towards the far post, and both Alafe and Madden come short, so as a result it's over their heads and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, what you would say, I think, for Stockport County, in contrast to the first 45, the start of this second half, whenever they've got in and around the final third penalty area, their entries haven't been particularly great, and maybe could be conditions, that might be playing a part, but certainly the quality hasn't been there like it was in the first.
Long downfield again from Holy for Carlisle, but Sarcevic picks the ball up over the top for Alafe, and he's got space now wide on the Stockport right hand side to attack the penalty area, low into the box, but it's cleared away by Huntington, and he looks around and wonders just how Alafe had so much room there. But now Moxon on the counter attack for Carlisle down the centre, evades one challenge, slides it wide to McCalmont on the right, cut back into the penalty area for Gordon, who makes the turn but can't apply the finish, and Ben Hinchcliffe swoops on the ball.
Oh, I should have done more, because it was brilliant from Moxon. Lovely little bit of deception to play the ball out to his left-hand side. Great, powerful driving run for the midfielder. Fed it wide, and as the cross comes in the box, I think Gordon just got to set Moxon back. He's got a simple set on the edge of the box, and then Moxon's got a strike and goal from 18 yards. Instead, he tries an elaborate turn. The ball gets lost under his footing, and they certainly don't make the most of that.
And a break again here for Carlisle with Callum Guy right down the centre, looking to go all the way, but Crowsdale makes the challenge and comes away with the ball. He's then caught, but the player's allowed to continue. The challenge was made on the edge of the penalty area. Guy now continues again. Again he goes down under the challenge of Crowsdale. Once again there's no free kick, and a long ball played forward for Stockport. Alafe is beaten in the air, then he was held down by Huntington, and it's a free kick here for Stockport, and Huntington was the last man there. He's been penalised, and technically if that's a free kick, then it's a yellow card at least.
How has he been penalised for that? I mean, the players are going down like 10 pins there. I mean, I don't know what the referee's doing. He just seemed unsure. I tell you what, I won't make any decision then until the ball's pumped up to Alafe. I think Huntington wins the header, and look, there has to be a bit of contact with Alafe because they both got their arms on each other. No way was that a free kick against Huntington, in my view. No way.
Well, he maybe dragged him to the ground. Paul Simpson has been having words with the fourth official. Huntington can't believe it, but no card for him. And both he and Malafe were on their own inside the Carlisle half. The free kick high into the penalty area, right with the header, just wide. Akil Wright ends up in the back of the net, but the ball doesn't, and that was the opportunity for Carlisle to seal it.
Oh goodness me, because the goalkeeper, ball was coming in from the right, the goalkeeper was moving the way of the ball. There was a huge hole at the near post. It looked like Akil Wright had done everything right, came onto the ball. He's got the front part of the goal to hit. It's completely open. Completely open. The goalkeeper's closer to the far post. What a miss that is from 6 yards out.
Paul Simpson is continuing to talk with Simon Mather, the fourth official, about one or two decisions going against his team. He's a very popular figure, Paul Simpson, for so many reasons, but he's known in League Two as a manager who does like to get his points across to the fourth official.
Well, I think that is justified because they could have been 2-0 down from a free kick, which arguably shouldn't have been. And I think that a few things in the first 45 we touched on that weren't going their way, and you could sense he was unhappy with that, and it's kind of continued.
And there will be movement on the Carlisle bench very shortly, and Clint Hill has stood up talking to members of the backroom team for Stockport, and maybe they are pondering a change as well. And the benches will have a big role to play here in these conditions as Garner picks up a loose ball for Carlisle. Good ball forward again for McCalmont, but his route to goal is cut off by Hussey. He finds Hinchcliffe, who clears it long downfield. Now Moxon for Carlisle, never afraid to gather the ball in difficult areas, and he comes away from the challenge for Sarcevic. High over the top, Rydell's missed it. Here is Garner now in space for Carlisle on the right, but Rydell comes back, does really well to win the ball, and then clears up to the halfway line. Alafe steps in before Hendry, but he can't divert the ball to Sarcevic, and Carlisle have it back once again.
They just need Moxon to get on the ball a little bit more, because whenever he's had it, he's looked such a great ball in behind that was, and just prior to that, he made a really good run.
And now another opportunity comes to nothing for Carlisle. It was Mellish forward from the back, but his cross is blocked, and as a result, in the space he's vacated, there's an opportunity for Callum Camps to come forward now for Stockport. Midway inside the Carlisle half, he goes for goal, 30 yards out. It was dipping, but not enough, and it's over the top.
Yeah, encouraged to shoot by the fans here. He's a good 30 yards out, ambitious. It's always rising. I mean, it's a lot more open, isn't it? Carlisle are kind of going for it on the turnover of possession. There's spaces in the wide areas again for Stockport County.
Looks like a double change for Carlisle coming up. Ryan Edmondson and Amari Patrick are the players who are preparing to come on, so that will be two forward replacements, so maybe they'll change things up top with Gordon and Garner coming off. But we talk about Carlisle having to go for it. It really is now or never for them. An hour played here at Wembley on Talksport 2. Carlisle 0, Stockport 1 in the League 2 playoff final on Talksport 2. And the heat of the day is really having an impact on the pace of the game now. And the two benches could well decide this game in the end. Of course, it did yesterday ultimately, with Francati Darbo the unlucky man to miss the only penalty. But at the moment, Stockport are offsetting the prospect of a shootout as they win another free kick. Joel Garner is penalised for hauling down Akil Wright under a high ball. And Carlisle just believe that decisions are going against them at the moment, but they've got to put that out of their minds.
Well, certainly, it's difficult to say they're in the ascendancy, but this is a better last 5 or so minutes from Carlisle, and maybe Paul Simpson's gone, right, let's harness that, and maybe we'll make a couple of positive changes.
Well, it's McCalmont who is coming off, the number 10, to be replaced by a number 10, Amari Patrick, who started the first leg of the semi-final against Bradford, but has been on the bench since. And Joe Garner is the other player who comes off to be replaced by Ryan Edmondson. But interestingly, Christian Dennis remains on the bench, the top goal scorer. But Garner tends to last about an hour these days. Had that chance in the first half, the header clawed away by Hinchcliffe. And Ryan Edmondson, who was promoted here with Port Vale in the League 2 playoff final last season, a free transfer from Leeds, comes on with half an hour to play here. He will go down the middle with Gordon coming across to this near side, the left, and Patrick on the other side. So 3 up top now for Carlisle.
Well, it looks like a kind of 4-2-3-1. We'll have to wait and see. That looks like the base of it.
It looks like they push Mellish forward into midfield. Of course, he started as one of the 3 central defenders, and they have gone to that back 4, as David was saying. And will Stockport respond with changes of their own? But at the moment, they have the lead, and Carlisle have not really created too many opportunities. Horsfall rising to head a high ball away, but Patrick steps in to win it back from Knoll on the far side, and Armour comes forward now for Carlisle down the left. High cross in. Edmondson was having his shirt pulled, and it's headed behind by Hussey for a corner.
Yeah, he could take no chances. I mean, this is really good recovery work from Patrick, who's been sharp since he's come on. Stole back possession, good ball in the box, deep ball. No chance if the Stockport County put out for a corner.
And Ryan Edmondson was clearly having his shirt pulled there under that high ball. Of course, we have VAR, but nothing has been given. And so far, it is fair to say that VAR has had a very light touch here today.
Well, just looking at the goalkeeper's position here, Hinchcliffe, he's almost standing on top of the back post. I wonder if he's going to leave that near post area vacant. He's surely got to get across his line before this ball comes in.
Well, it is an incredibly congested penalty area. There's about a dozen players all vying for the same square yard of turf around the penalty spot as this corner is about to come in on this near side. Hendry makes the run to the near post. The corner is beyond him. Hinchcliffe comes and punches clear. Alafe does well to ride the challenge of Guy, and now he can sprint forward for Stockport down the centre. He's got support on the far side, the right Sarcevic, but it's Senior who comes in to make the challenge. Alafe has gone down and stayed down, but it's only a throw-in for Stockport County on the far side.
Superb this is from Senior, absolutely superb, because he knows he's up against real pace in Alafe, so what he's got to do is just keep his eyes on the ball. Just keep his eyes on the ball and watch for that touch, and if it's a heavy one from Alafe, bang, you're onto it. Then you make your challenge and your clearance and your tackle. He does exactly that. He's in a difficult situation, he's backpedaling, Alafe's quick, take him into the opposite half, but keeps his eye on the ball. Terrific challenge, bit of a heavy touch from Alafe, timed it perfectly.
That was great defending in the heat of a playoff final. 64 minutes played here on Talksport 2. Carlisle 0, Stockport 1. And there is going to be another change made very soon, I think from Stockport County. And 1 or 2 players are just beginning to wilt here. And it's Will Collar who will be coming on. In fact, 2 changes. Miles Hippolyte, who scored home and away against Carlisle in the league this season, he will also be coming on. The Stockport look to see this out, leading by a goal to nil. Carlisle won 2-0 back in October at home, and it was a 2-2 draw back in April. John Mellish scored for Carlisle that day. He scored for Stockport here today, his own goal. Still dividing the 2 sides with 25 minutes to play on Talksport 2. But here is Patrick for Carlisle, one of their players from the bench. Now Senior's got space on this near side. Gordon comes short, but the cross is beyond him, and it's cleared away at the near post, and a free kick's been given. There's no doubt that Mellish clattered into the player who was clearing the ball there on the edge of the penalty area, and it was always going to be a free kick.
Yeah, it was, no complaints. I mean, I think there could be a few complaints about the cross from Senior, because at one end of the pitch he did a brilliant challenge, and then he's got time on the ball out wide, just need a little bit of quality, and he bounces a low ball in. It's a dreadful one really, and it's easily cleared.
Well, the players are coming in for the water break here. And there is a Stockport player, Akil Wright, still down in the shade in the penalty area on the far side, and he's not come across for the water break at the moment. So Hippolyte and Collar will be coming on at the end of this break, and Wright is now receiving treatment. Don't forget, the end of the Premier League season across the Talksport network. Adrian Durham live from Goodison Park, where Everton will be safe with a victory against Bournemouth. Our commentary game is Leicester against West Ham on Talksport with Sam Matterface and Scott Minto. Here on Talksport 2, Leeds against Spurs with Ian Danta and Perry Groves, and the games at Villa, Southampton, Chelsea and Palace, all available on the Talksport app. Download the app and you can swipe between whichever commentary you want to listen to. We're back here tomorrow on Talksport for the League One playoff final, Barnsley against Sheffield Wednesday. And Talksport is the only place you can hear both the FA Cup final and all 3 European club finals coming up over the next couple of weeks. Wright doesn't look too good here, does he, Dave?
No, but I'm sure he's just taking his time, you know, making sure he gets enough attention from the physio, and if he's okay, they want to certainly keep him on. He's been excellent so far. We just saw on the opposite side, left-hand side, ball come in, under hit. He got there first, cleared the danger well, and he's been part of a really good defence today, and they won't want to lose him, although just looking at the physio, he's turned around to the sort of technical area, whether that's a knowing look, i.e. this is bad news.
Well, Clint Hiller's talking to both Miles Hippolyte and Will Collar. They will be coming on anyway, but will they make a change to accommodate the injury for Akil Wright here? We'll have to wait and see. The board is up. Wright is the first player withdrawn, and it's Will Collar who will come on. Well, Wright had the chance with that header to make it 2-0, and I don't think Carlisle would have been coming back from that. But he will play no further part in the game, and Will Collar, with 13 goals this season, the player who will come on. And Paddy Madden will also be withdrawn. The captain hands the armband on to Ryan Croasdale. He's done his job here today, and Miles Hippolyte will come on to replace him.
Yeah, I think he has done his job today. I mean, he's worked really hard. You spoke about him intercepting a ball in the box when, you know, Alafe's on the halfway line, and that's Paddy Madden as a deep, well, number 10, but picking up the deep line midfielder for Carlisle and, you know, doing a lot of defensive work. So might not have had as much impact in and around the final third, but certainly linked it well and worked really hard for his team today.
And the match about to get back underway following the water break here, and it's a free kick for Stockport, played long by Hinchcliffe, flicked on by Alafe towards the edge of the penalty area, nodded back towards Alafe, who comes in field from the left hand side, has Hippolyte in support down the left, but it's back towards Rydell, who's beyond Gordon. A good low ball into the penalty area where it's cleared away by Hendry, and it spins high behind on this near side, and the throw-in has been given in the end.
Yeah, this all starts with that flick on from Alafe. Yeah, another long ball, and he just makes something out of nothing, keeps the ball alive in that final third, which, you know, Carlisle have really struggled to do.
Rydell will take the throw-in towards Sarcevic, and the back heel from him doesn't quite come off, but it's won back by Rydell, but only briefly. It's cleared away by Senior, and now Edmondson lays it back, but Moxon's clearance clatters into a Stockport player, but Edmondson is sprightly. Fresh legs from him, and he wins it back, and now it's quickly played forward by Armour to find Patrick, on towards Edmondson for Carlisle, breaking up towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's a good challenge coming in from Croasdale, who now takes the responsibility of the captain's armband, and Carlisle have a throw-in on the far side with 20 minutes to play here at Wembley on Talksport 2, and it's still Carlisle United 0, Stockport County 1 in the League 2 playoff final, and Carlisle looking to come on strong here as they need to do. Patrick's ball forward though spins away on the far side harmlessly, and Stockport have a throw-in. Carlisle have been victorious here previously in Football League trophy finals, but here in the playoffs missed their first trip to a Wembley final in the EFL, and at the moment It is going to be yet another unsuccessful playoff campaign for the Cumbrians. But here is Hippolyte again. He's fouled by Senior. Stockport have a free kick taken quickly. Now Sarcevic has it down the left, a reverse ball back towards Hippolyte, breaking into the penalty area. He's challenged though as he looks to shoot it. Bobbles high into the air, and in the end it's cleared away. There was a Stockport player down in some pain inside the penalty area, and play will be halted for treatment.
This is really good from Hippolyte. I think it's Whelan that might
Corey
be down.
Whelan, the player who was down, yeah.
I mean, he covered across really well. Certainly this was a foul. I'm surprised the referee didn't blow his whistle immediately. But nonetheless, Hippolyte and Sarcevic, lovely little 1-2, dink ball over the top to Hippolyte in the box. He looks like he's sort of second favourite here, and Whelan does get there first. He clears the danger, and on the follow-through, it looked like Hippolyte certainly... Yeah,
that's a bad one, isn't it? It is. Accidental challenge, two players going for the ball, but Hippolyte didn't get the ball. He got plenty of Whelan. And Corey Whelan receiving prolonged treatment here.
I don't know, I've got to question the referee, because a few of his decisions today have, flummoxed me at times, and I think Paul Simpson too, but that was a clear foul, and why the referee allowed play to continue. Eventually he blew his whistle, but he got that one wrong, that's for sure.
Well, Hippolyte is going across to just apologise to Whelan, and that's good to see. A handshake between the two in the midst of a playoff final.
Well, they're still bringing the stretcher out, whether that's a bit premature. We'll wait and see.
Well, Whelan is back on his feet, so the stretcher at the moment will be waved away, but he's walking very heavily towards this near side. But we do have VAR here today, but it's been one of those games where they've not intervened at all, but there have been one or two occasions where maybe higher up they would have done. Cleared downfield by Holy once again. Looking for Gordon, who's done well to bring the ball under control, but just runs out of room in a confined space on this near side, and it will be a Stockport throw-in, and they are 17 minutes away from promotion once again here. What have Carlisle got left? Here is Sarcevic for Stockport. Good ball down the line. An opportunity for Collar to break into the penalty area. The cross is blocked. Appeals for handball against Armour. Would have been very harsh. His back was turned. And play continues. But it's given away by Carlisle. One back by Croasdale. And now an opportunity for Rydell to play it forward. He strikes from long range. It's wide, and the Lafay was open on the edge of the box.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, why is Rydell shooting from there? He's 30 plus yards out. He's got Lafay making a nice little run inside the area. Just slip it to him. Takes a shot on, and yeah, wrong decision. I've had a couple of them, shots from distance, and never really looked like testing the goalkeeper.
And now Callum Guy is down for Stockport, but he gets back to his feet. He scored in the second leg victory against Bradford, and Carlisle need a goal from somewhere here, because at the moment they are slipping to defeat with 15 minutes to play on Talksport 2. Long downfield from Thomas Holy. Kept the season high, 20 clean sheets in League 2, but not here today. And at the moment, an own goal is going to settle the League 2 playoff final. Now Gordon on this near side, the Palace loanee. Quickly closed down by Rydell, but Carlisle have a throw-in.
Well, another thing that's a bit perplexing is why, I mean, we can see the subs, and Christian Dennis isn't one of them that's going to come on. Now, whether Dennis is on the bench, but he's not fit, but he just put him on the bench, because if he wasn't, certainly that would buoy Stockport even more. So he might be injured, but he's on the bench just to take a place. Or, if he is fit, why has he been called upon? Because he's not one of the two that's going to come on.
Jordan Gibson and Taylor Charters will be coming on, unless they're going to throw him on for the final 5 minutes or so, but it may be too late by then.
Well, yeah, if he's got one leg, then you'd get him on, unless he is injured, but he's on the bench, because psychologically, maybe if he wasn't on the bench or involved at all today, Stockport County would be like, wow, So psychology might be the way, but otherwise I'm sure Paul Simpson will have some questions afterwards.
Headed forward by Hussey, flicked on by Collar for Stockport, looking for Sarcevic, but it's cleared away by Hendry, who looks to be okay now, and Patrick almost gathers the ball in stride on the far side, but Stockport win it back. A long ball forward, Sarcevic will chase, and Hendry, under pressure, can just help it into the crowd on the far side, and Stockport have a throw-in, and their crowd get behind their team once again, because they are firmly looking at the scoreboards here in the stadium, which shows there are 14 minutes to play on Talksport 2, and Stockport still lead by a goal to nil. And Taylor Charters and Jordan Gibson will be coming on for Carlisle shortly. And they may get the opportunity to make the change now, and they will. And the first player to make way is John Kamani Gordon. He will be replaced by Jordan Gibson, player signed from Sligo Rovers in the League of Ireland. John Kamani Gordon had that chance in the first half, shooting over when well placed. And Callum Guy will also make way for Taylor Charters, born in Whitehaven, which is even isolated in Cumbria, and he was promoted on loan at Gateshead from National League North last season. Thrown down the line on this near side for Carlisle, but now Stockport have it back again. And in the second half, David, they've had pressure, Carlisle, but you can't really look back on one clear-cut chance, can you?
No, not really. Certainly not in the second half. They might have had a couple with Gordon in the first and the header from Garner, but apart from that, I can't think of too many more.
Alafe chests the ball down for Hippolyte. Good ball down the line for Rydell on this near side. He chops back and breaks into the penalty area. The cross is headed away. Knocked back into the area by Alafe. And an acrobatic overhead kick is just over the top from Hippolyte. That would have been some way to win a final at Wembley.
Oh, it would. I mean, they keep the ball alive. Good ball in the box, cleared. Alafe heads it back into the penalty area, and it's acrobatic. It's ambitious. It's not a bad effort, though, from Hippolyte. Nonetheless, still goes over the bar.
.11 minutes to play. Stockport lead by a goal to nil, and there are plenty of nervous faces around us here. Sarcevic nods it down the line, and then it's boomed forward over the top, looking for Alafe, who eats up the ground, but it's headed back well by Huntington, and it will be a goal kick which Hurley will look to take quickly here, and they've got to get the ball forward quickly. Stockport come forward with Hippolyte now. He's had a real impact since coming on, and he looks to draw the foul from Moxon, but he bounces back to his feet quickly and plays it wide to the far side. The cross into the penalty area, looking for Alafe, nodded clear by Huntington. Hippolyte with another shot. This one's blocked. He looks to win it back. It comes through to Sarcevic on the edge of the penalty area. Now Croasdale. Collar again, back towards Croasdale. They're looking for the overlapping run of Knoll. Knoll slides it in low, but it's cleared away at the near post by Hendry, and Carlisle survived this time.
All right, they didn't make the most of that. Knoll with the ball in. It's a weak one, but that was good play. Hippolyte keeping the ball alive, working really hard, and you can hear the Stockport County fans in front of us again, just trying to rouse their team.
Throw in on the far side for Carlisle United. And we are inside the final 10 minutes here on Talksport 2. Stockport County leading by a goal to nil, and Dave Challoner is very close now to his 7th promotion as a manager. His rise up the divisions will continue unless Paul Simpson and Carlisle can find something here. Clipped forward by Collar, looking for Sarcevic on the far side. Hendry comes across, and Sarcevic does well to put him under pressure, and Hendry has to concede a throw-in by the corner flag. And Stockport County here have Carlisle exactly where they need them. And Jack Stretchard, who scored the equalising goal very late on in extra time against Salford in the semi-final, will be coming on for the closing stages here in normal time.
Well, and Christian Dennis, by the looks of it.
But Those changes yet to be made, and Christian Dennis will be the last throw of the dice for Paul Simpson. Collar with the back heel for Stockport on the far side, doesn't quite come off and it goes behind, and here are the changes. And it's Owen Moxon who is coming off for Carlisle. Well, that's maybe a slight surprise. In fact, it's been changed, it's not Moxon. They've changed the number, it's Jack Armour who was coming off. And Jack Stretton will also be coming on. So Christian Dennis, former Stockport County player, played for them in the National League North. Carlisle's top goal scorer, he comes on. And Jack Stretton will also come on to replace Isaac Olafe, who gets a tremendous ovation from the Stockport County supporters. His cross was turned in by Mellis for the only goal so far.
Yeah, and you can understand why he's got that reception. I thought he was outstanding. Probably my player of the match. Absolutely brilliant.
And Jack Stretton comes on to try and help Carlisle. Well, Stockport finished the job here. Former Carlisle player, and now an opportunity inside the box, and it's Edmondson who wins it back for Carlisle. It's played back, Mellis with a shot, blocked on the line. Did it strike a hand? Not according to the referee. And John Mellish so close to scoring at both ends. Now Sarcevic comes forward for Stockport, wide towards the far side, and in the end it's cleared away. Amari Patrick on the far side for Carlisle, and John Mellish with the opportunity to equalise in the same goal where his own goal ballooned the back of the net in the first half, but it was cleared off the line.
Well, I just wonder, that's what they're appealing for, a possible handball from Noel, but I don't think it did it his arm. Terrific block on the line, stopped a certain goal.
Here is Patrick for Carlisle. And that will give Carlisle some hope in the final 7 minutes here. Senior down the line again, looking for Gibson. Gibson cuts it back into Armour. Low cross into the far post. Oh, there's a miss kick from Edmondson, and it's in! Amari Patrick has scored the equaliser, and Carlisle United season remains alive here at Wembley. Moments after they were denied, Amari Patrick keeps his cool inside the penalty area, and there is Cumbrian delight all around this stadium. Stockport County were so close to promotion, but Amari Patrick has denied them for now. It is Carlisle United 1, Stockport County 1.
Well, I tell you, it's a great goal. It's a really, really good finish, because he could have maybe taken a touch here, Patrick, but it was set up beautifully for him for the first time finish. He slots it past the goalkeeper at the near post really, really well. Great move down this right-hand side from Carlisle. Lovely little give and go with Senior. Flashes the ball across the box. There's a little intervention. Someone from Stockport County gets their boot in the way, diverts it out a little bit further from goal, but there's Patrick at the back post. Comes onto it superbly well and slots it. So it's a really, really good finish. Nice, low, firm at the near post. Goalkeeper doesn't stand a chance.
Well, Stockport are making a change. Neil Byrne is coming on to replace Callum Camps. I wonder if that was going to be a defensive change to try and see the game out, but now we are back to 1-1. And a blue smoke bomb was let off by the Carlisle fans, and smoke is currently drifting across the heads of their delighted supporters. They were 7 minutes away from more Wembley disappointment, but now they come forward looking to win the game. It's Patrick again, and the benches have made a real difference here for Carlisle.
Well, we touched on that at the start, you know, the importance of the benches. You just knew in the game, you know, there's going to have plenty of twists and turns. You know, Dennis has come on, has been bright. They kept the ball alive, Carlisle, something they didn't do in the first half, did they? When it was in the Stockport County half, first 45, first hour really, they never kept it alive with any sort of quality. They did there. Great underlapping run from Senior, and the cross was good, and there was Patrick, right place, right time, but what a great goal, great finish.
1-1, 5 minutes to play here on Talksport 2. Extra time is looming at Wembley, and it's Carlisle though coming forward again here. Christian Dennis down the right, further forward for Gibson. Gibson with the opportunity to cross, it's low. Patrick is there again, brilliant challenge inside the penalty area from Knoll to maybe deny him a second goal. Moxon again. Stockport are out on their feet here suddenly. Senior for Carlisle, good cross into the area, it's blocked by Byrne at the near post. The player who's just come on it maybe reared up and struck him on the hand, but it would not have been a penalty, I don't think, and it's cleared away.
Well, that was nearly a carbon copy for Patrick. Great intervention from Knoll, wasn't it? Getting across, tracked the runner Patrick this time and just got there first.
Mellish turning away from the challenge on the far side. He can break into the penalty area for Carlisle. His cross though is blocked. Mellish continues, plays it back to the far side. An opportunity for the cross from Charters into the near post, where it's headed away by Crowsdale. And now Stockport will try and bring the ball forward themselves. Stretton claims his shirt was being pulled, I think it was, but no free kick given. Gibson. We can still smell the cordite in our nostrils here, following the smoke bombs, following the Carlisle equaliser. Now Senior in towards Patrick, down the line for Gibson. Good football again. The cross into the near post is headed away. And Stockport here have got absolutely no legs at all at the moment.
Well, they just can't keep the ball now. Now Alafe's gone off. It's just coming back.
Stretton is penalised for a challenge on this near side on Mellish, and it will be a free kick to Carlisle. And Stockport are the team now who need the full-time whistle with 3 minutes to play to try and regroup.
Well, they're going to have to defend this ball in the box, Stockport County, but you know, Huntington's got the measure. Now Alafe's gone off. Every time the ball's gone into the front to Stretton, he's got there first. And they run aside a free kick here.
34,004 is the crowd here today. Presumably the 4 is those of us here from Talksport 2. Free kick, which will be taken by Moxon for Carlisle. Played short to him, now driven low into the penalty area, volley clear. But there's time for Charters to play it back into the penalty area, and it's a good ball as well. It's flicked on by Gordon. Gibson will almost gather the ball. It comes to Patrick 6 yards out, but he can't get the shot in. Players from both sides go down inside the penalty area. Stockport clear, and Carlisle have a throw-in on this near side. And Stockport were looking pretty comfortable until the final 10 minutes here, but Carlisle have dredged something up from somewhere. And now they have a throw-in with 2 minutes of normal time to play.
Well, this is going to be launched in the box by Senior. Just got to get the distance right here.
Long throw from Senior towards the near post. It's headed away. Hippolyte will just hook the ball over his shoulder up to the halfway line. Stratton, the only blue shirt anywhere near the halfway line. But here is Gibson for Carlisle on this near side. And the subs have transformed this game for Paul Simpson's team. Gibson again. His cross high to the far post. Patrick will gather. He can play it back into the penalty area for Edmondson, but he's just held up, and in the end the cross aimed for Moxon is cleared by Hippolyte, but Carlisle have a throw-in, and Stockport County here just need the full-time whistle.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick there, he could have just easily set the ball back to Charters for an easier delivery, but nonetheless they've still got it in and around the final third.
.30 seconds of normal time to play. Carlisle continue to pile on the pressure here. 1-1 at Wembley. Long throw into the penalty area. Byrne rising for Stockport, but it's over his head, but it's hammered away by Crowsdale. Stratton will be encouraged to chase, but Huntington will get there first for Carlisle. All the way back to Hawley, and he clears long downfield. And all eyes shortly be on the fourth official, Simon Mather. Sarcevic for Stockport. They had the chances to get the second goal. Akil Wright's header, Hippolyte's overhead kick. Now Moxon has been fouled, and Carlisle have a free kick midway inside their own half. And there will be nine added minutes at the end of this second half. Plenty of time for both teams to win it.
Yeah, and Paul Simpson just trying to rouse the fans there as well. 9 minutes, yeah, they're in the ascendancy now, Carlisle. I mean, no one saw this coming.
A team has not come from behind at half-time to win a League Two playoff final since Wickham in 1994, but Carlisle are pushing more players forward here. A late equaliser, and now they're looking for an added time winner. Hendry. And down the line, the ball is eventually cleared out of play by Collar, and it will be a throw-in for Carlisle again. And Stockport have barely crossed the halfway line since conceding the goal from Amari Patrick.
Well, you just imagine here, they're just going to again launch it in the box. Oh, it's a little bit, I guess they've been forced back a little bit by the referee, so maybe not.
In towards Moxon, who rolls his man down the left-hand side. And now it's further wide towards Charters. His cross, though, is blocked. It's picked up by Stretton for Stockport. He's been caught by Charters. That will be a free kick and a yellow card for the player who came on recently.
Yeah, a little bit cynical. Certainly he made the challenge knowing that he didn't really want Stretton to get away. And I think if I was Stockport County, I'd be taking my time on this. The issue is no Alafe, so they've got no real chance, unless they're aiming for Hippolyte here. He might be the one that will win a flick on or help them keep the ball in Carlisle's half now.
Well, the Stockport fans away to our right are now very, very quiet because they were so close, but now they look to come forward for the winning goal in added time. Horsfall, though, unable to gather on the edge of the penalty area. Gibson's clearance is sliced across the face of his own box. It's nodded back towards Hippolyte, but he's challenged, but then Hippolyte wins it back, but his shot right-footed is high over the top.
Well, I mean, credit to Stockport County there because, you know, they did bring the two centre-halves forward, so they were trying to, you know, keep the ball alive from the long diagonal free kick. Just a slash clearance from Jordan Graham. They just gave Stockport County the initiative, didn't quite clear their lines, and a strike well over the bar. You would say the finishing from distance been pretty disappointing today. Very rarely when they've shot from 20 plus yards out have they worked the goalkeeper at either end.
We played 2.5 of the 9 added minutes here at Wembley on Talksport 2. It is still 1-1 in the League 2 playoff final. Stockport were ahead for so long, but Carlisle coming back late, and at the moment they look the stronger side with extra time looming here, but it's still some way off with 6 minutes of added time to play. And Stockport have some possession inside the Carlisle half now, but they are looking very, very tired. Carlisle are the team with the spring in their step at the moment. Throw in for Stockport, though, midway inside the Carlisle half, down the line for Hippolyte, who stretches out a long leg but can't keep the ball in play, and it will be a goal kick to Carlisle. If you were picking a winner at the moment now, you'd say Carlisle, wouldn't you?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, if Stockport County can get through to extra time, I think they'll breathe a sigh of relief now.
Well, there are anxious faces among the Stockport supporters. All the noise, all the energy coming from the Carlisle fans away to our right-hand side as Stockport look to win it back, and Crosdale's done well to Rob Charters now, fighting Collar down the Stockport right-hand side. High ball swirled towards the far post. It's beyond Hippolyte, and there's a miss kick on this near side from Gibson, and an opportunity for Stockport to cross with Rydell down their left. And it's now set up for Hussey to dink it into the penalty area. Hippolyte has managed to get in behind Moxon, but the cross is tired into the near post and claimed by Holy. What a chance that was.
Oh, it was. Just a little bit of composure there. Played it straight to the arms of the goalkeeper.
Could have gone for goal.
Well, maybe. I think the angle, it was hard to. He's a left footer and he's almost in line with the near post down the left-hand side of the box. So you'd think the better thing to do would try and pick someone out and cut the ball back. Instead, he just played a straight cross straight into the arms of the goalkeeper.
Dave Challoner continues to sit there, almost casually, leaning against the hoardings at the back of the technical area. Paul Simpson is right out as close to the touchline as he can get. And he has made the changes in the second half, which have changed the course of this final. There's no doubt about that. 5 minutes of added time played. 1-1 it remains, but Stockport have maybe found a second or third wind here, and they look to push now on the far side. 1-1 on Talksport 2, the conclusion to the Premier League season coming up across the Talksport network. But at the moment we will not be heading to Ellen Road as early as we thought, unless we have a goal in the next 4 minutes. And Hippolyte here is winding up for a long throw, a Dave Challoner style long throw from Stockport. Hippolyte high into the penalty area, nodded away by Huntington and hooked further clear by Dennis. Hussey with another high ball forward. Hippolyte wins the header. Here is Collar down the right-hand side. The crossing. Crowsdale with the header. It's blocked. Stretton shot. Blocked inside the 6-yard area. There's a rugby scrum inside the box, and eventually the free kick's been given to Carlisle. I'm not sure what the referee saw there, but Stockport not too far away from winning the game very late in added time.
Yeah, there's a couple of Carlisle players down here. I think one might be certainly injured. The other one looks knackered. I mean, a long throw from Hippolyte. They keep it alive. The cross comes in the box, and there's bodies putting away. And
was there an
arm?
An arm there
from Huntington, possibly.
And then it was blocked by Senior on the ground. Well, it would have been.
It's the upper arm,
isn't it? Yeah. I'm not sure whether he was leaning in towards the ball. I've no idea.
I mean,
where the ball struck Senior, he was on the ground, and players are taking on fluids now. So we will head towards maybe the 100th minute or beyond here, because there's an injury break deep inside the Carlisle penalty area.
I think if you look at Huntington's arms, they were pretty close to his body, weren't they? And I guess short sleeve shirt, it looked like the top of the short sleeve, so.
Well, it's been a dramatic game, there's no doubt about that. It seemed that Stockport were inching towards promotion, but Carlisle have come roaring back here. Paul Huntington, the player who was down on the ground, and Tom Neal, the referee, eventually gave a free kick. I mean, it was almost like a rugby scrum on the edge of the 6-yard area there. Players from both sides were piling bodies in, but in the end the referee saw something he didn't like and gave Carlisle a free kick. I'm not quite sure what he saw though.
Well, not for the first time. I've said that about the referee today. We've seen a few replays of this possible handball from Huntington.
I'm not sure he can give that at this stage of a game. But it's a free kick. We're into the 98th minute here, and we're going to have a 100th minute and maybe beyond, even before extra time, the way this game is going. Cleared long downfield by Holy. Huntington is back on the field of play. Horsfall heads away at the other end. Moxon jabs it forward for Carlisle. Neil Byrne stoops to clear for Stockport, but now Gibson with a high ball over the top, looking for Edmondson. His legs have made such a difference for Carlisle, giving them real mobility moving forward. And the decision to go 3 up front for Carlisle, justified by that equalising goal from Amari Patrick, who stepped off the bench to keep their season alive. We have played the 9 minutes of added time, and it's still 1-1 here at Wembley, and we are into added time at the end of added time, with maybe extra time still to come here. Hippolyte on the chase, the ball's allowed to bounce by Senior, almost got caught under the ball on the edge of his own penalty area, but he's helped up by Gibson, who plays it back to Holy, and he clears long downfield once again. Two very tired teams out there at the moment, but they will get one extra change when we head into extra time, if we get that far, if we don't see a goal in the next couple of moments. Hussey for Stockport. Over the head of Stretton, it's headed away by Huntington, who does look to be struggling on the edge of the penalty area, but he labours on the captain. Now on the far side, Patrick will close down Knoll, but the wing-back for Stockport slides in to clear it out of play. As we tick towards the 100th minute here. 1-1 at Wembley on Talksport 2 in the League 2 playoff final. Extra time yesterday, and we are heading for extra time here today. Full-time whistle goes, and it's the Carlisle fans who are undoubtedly the happier, because their team have come back late in this game. Amari Patrick scoring 7 minutes before the end to equalise the first half own goal from John Mellish. Stockport, for so long in the second half, looked to be heading towards their third promotion in 5 years, but now they still have work to do, because Carlisle's changed us from the bench. have made all the difference. We have extra time still to come on Talksport 2. After 90 minutes, it is Carlisle United 1, Stockport County 1.
Nigel, thank you. Don't worry, we'll be off to Ellen Road later on the final day of the Premier League season. Leeds against Spurs to come from 4:30. This game, this brutal, brilliant game. Here we go again. Extra time needed again in the EFL playoffs. Again needed here at Wembley to separate Carlisle and Stockport in the League 2 playoff final. And it began to unravel for Stockport County. It feels like in the blink of an eye, back end of the second half, Amari Patrick off the bench saving Carlisle, extending their season for a little longer. Certainly Dave Connolly, Carlisle, Paul Simpson's side, not at their best, far from it, had to hang on, had to fight, could have been out of the game. But they're taking it to extra time now.
Yeah, certainly, and they were much improved after those changes. I think he needed to make them. He did make them, and certainly, Patrick came on. He was really bright. Obviously, got the goal, but not only him, Edmondson's been lively. Christian Dennis, although he hasn't been in the game, he's been a threat. He's pinned them back a little bit, Stockport County. So, yeah, they were superb in that last half.
Threw them all on. He had to, didn't he? Paul Simpson, Edmondson, Patrick, Dennis, all thrown on. At the end, Carlisle swinging, Stockport on the ropes.
Yeah, absolutely, they were. But, make no mistake. I mean, if it wasn't for an intervention, maybe Patrick might have got a second one. You would say the goal was really good. Really good goal. I mean, Senior with an underlapping run, lovely ball in the box. There were sort of last-ditch tackles, interventions, ball just spills at the feet of Patrick, and didn't think about it. First time finish, brilliant at the near post, great goal.
Under an hour out from kick-off then in the Premier League on final day here on Talksport 2. Let's bring you the headline team news ahead of Leeds against Tottenham with our Talksport 2 match commentator Ian Danter.
One change for Leeds United. Liam Cooper returns, having not played for nearly a month. It looks like a five-man defence that Sam Allardyce is going with their bid to try and stay in the Premier League. Cooper comes in for the absent Patrick Bamford. Just one change for Spurs as well for their final day. Arnaud Danjuma drops to the bench. That means a return for Pedro Porro in Ryan Mason's what looks like a kind of 4-4-2 come 3-4-3 lineup. At Ellen Road, 4:30 kickoff. It's a drama day for Leeds United. They take on Tottenham Hotspur.
We'll be there once we're done here at Wembley with the League 2 playoff final. Perry Groves alongside Ian Danter on the call for us here on Talksport 2. Final instructions, fluids being taken on both camps. Stockport County to our left, Carlisle United to our right. Nigel Adley, our match commentator, with me. Just before the hour mark, I now my mind keeps going back to that Akil Wright opportunity to wrap it up for Stockport. Unmarked, 6 yards out, hit the target. You secure promotion for Stockport.
Yeah, I think at 2-0, Carlisle were not coming back, but those are the very fine margins in the playoffs, and you've got to credit Paul Simpson. He made those changes. He brought on Edmondson and Patrick, and they have made the difference for them, really. I think Edmondson causing problems, coming in behind and just giving some thoughts for the Stockport defence, which they weren't getting from the players who were on previously, and then Patrick showing real calmness in front of goal to come up with the equaliser.
A red hot day in North London here at your home of football, Wembley. Temperatures stifling. Players with promotion the prize being asked to go for another 30 minutes. Penalties possible as well if we still can't decide a winner after 30 extra minutes between Carlisle United and Stockport County in his League 2 playoff final. Live here on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Let's take you through it with our match commentator, the former Republic of Ireland international, Dave Connolly, alongside Nigel Adley.
Thank you, Dan. And of course, we've had the toss-up between the two captains once again. And Stockport will be defending the goal away to our left, the east end of the stadium, for the first period of extra time here. And Carlisle, in their maroon and orange, will get the second part of this playoff final underway. It was a breathless end to the 90 minutes, the 100 minutes in the end. Carlisle coming back late, had the chances to finish a wilting Stockport off, but now we head into extra time here on Talksport 2 with the prospect of penalties still to come if neither side can come up with a goal, and both teams will now get an extra change in extra time. Of course, Carlisle made their 5 changes in the 90 minutes. Stockport still have one extra change they could make. They brought on 4 players in the second period, and none of them really made a huge impact, with the exception possibly of Miles Hippolyte.
Well, you would say I think Carlisle have looked stronger since the changes, and Stockport looked a bit weaker. So yeah, no Alafe for them, which is a blow. They haven't managed to keep the ball alive when it's gone up to Stretton, so they are struggling at the minute, Stockport County.
Byrne, who did come on, wrestling now with Edmondson. He was part of the Hartlepool team promoted with Dave Challoner from the National League in a penalty shootout against Torquay a couple of years ago. That was played at Ashton Gate. Here at Wembley, on a very hot day, it is 1-1 here in the opening minute of extra time. And we will have commentary of Leeds against Spurs at the end of this game, whenever that is. Well, Leeds against Spurs will kick off at 4:30, whatever happens here. Now Patrick, back again towards Charters, down the line, and it's over the head of John Mellish, who started this game as a central defender, and now he's playing as an attacking midfielder and been quite effective in that role.
Yeah, he's played there a few times, you know, against Barrow he played in there, and various other teams. I think against Salford he played in the middle of the park as well, so it's a position he knows pretty well.
But Paul Simpson has been the more effective coach in the second half, we must say. But Dave Challoner will be hoping his team can respond to whatever he said in the break between normal time and extra time, as Stretton looks to get on the ball here, but he's given the ball away, and Carlisle will try and come forward with Mellish. Swept forward by Dennis, wide to this near side. Edmondson is quick, and he's quicker than Byrne, and he's got there first on this near side by the corner flag down the Carlisle left. He needs support from Charters maybe, but Byrne does well to hold him up, and in the end Collar comes back, finds his goalkeeper, and Hinchliffe clears long downfield. Headed infield by Hendry, but Hippolyte gathers for Stockport, and the blue shirts are flooding forward now. Rydell cutting infield from the left-hand side again, and Sarcevic, who was quieter in the second half the longer the game went on. Now Rydell again, and it's left for Hippolyte. His shot, though, is deflected, loops high into the air. Mellish didn't appreciate the follow-through there from Hippolyte, and in the end the referee has given a free kick to Carlisle.
That's a good block. I didn't see too much in that. I mean, coming back to Edmondson, he has been a threat. You know, he's given them that out ball, which they didn't really have. I mean, he's almost ripped up the front tree, hasn't he, Paul Simpson? And certainly Edmondson's been a real threat. He's big, he wins flick-ons, you know, he runs the channels well. He's just given Stockport County something else to think about.
Well, it's all sorted out between Hippolyte and Mellish. Paul Huntington, I think, came in as a peacemaker there. Cleared long downfield by Hurley once again, and the ball just spins and bounces out of play on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for Stockport. And as Dan Windle mentioned during the break, David, you look back on that Akia Wright chance. If he'd scored to make it 2-0, I think that was it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. We said at the time, you know, what a miss, because the goalkeeper had covered almost too far across his goal. There was a gaping space at the near post, and it looked harder, to be honest, to miss the target than to score.
Now Will Collar has gone down with a head injury on the halfway line, so there will be another break here for more treatment. And I just saw a graphic on the television monitor. Miles Hippolyte has had 4 shots since coming on. No one else in the game, including players who started it, have had more than 2, so he is the player that Stockport are looking for now to try and turn the game back in their direction. Will Collar was leaping there with Mellish, and he was just caught, I think, in the aerial duel, and maybe landed awkwardly on his shoulder. And Mellish just checks he's okay, and it will be a drop ball in the end, and Collar maybe has a problem with the collarbone on this near side. But he was a player who came on, and he's a player who could provide a goal from midfield for Stockport in the remainder of this game. But we saw yesterday the game really die as a spectacle in extra time due to the heat, David. We could see something similar here.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. You know, both teams, as you'd expect, expended a lot of energy, but to me, they both look pretty strong at the minute. I think the subs have certainly made a really good impact and look fresh for Carlisle. You know, Patrick's been bright, Edmondson's been bright, so whenever the ball's gone into the front of Carlisle, you know, they've looked potent.
Throw in on this near side for Stockport County in their blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. Carlisle in the maroon kit with orange trim. Mellish looks to play it forward for them. Patrick wins it back on this near side, but the bounce of the ball doesn't favour him. Crosdale's clearance, though, ricochets wide to this near side, and it's pumped long by Knoll, looking for Stretton, but he's no real match in the air for the Carlisle back three at the moment. And then Sarcevic has been caught by Moxon. I think Sarcevic maybe made the most of that to ensure he got the free kick, and it will be a free kick for Stockport just inside the Carlisle half.
I just wonder, I mean, he's got Sarcevic there, but he hasn't played a lot of football, has he? Now going into extra time, they've challenged thinking, well, what if it goes to penalties? What if, you know, you don't want to keep taking more of your attacking goal-scoring players off, but I'm sure we'll be thinking, what do we do with Sarcevic? Have to manage him.
Well, Madden, Collar and Sarcevic all scored penalties in the shootout. Now Horsfall on the far side from the free kick, delivers the cross into the penalty area. Collar tries to loop ahead towards goal. It's still loose inside the 6-yard area, but it's nodded down by Charters, and the flag was raised for offside, and it will be a free kick for Carlisle.
Well, I tell you what, Charters did really well there, because he could have like headed it back or cleared it, but it would have gone to a Stockport player, and he knew that, so he did a little cushioned header to himself and then brought the ball out from the back. I mean, that was excellent defending.
Don't forget, over on Talksport, Adrian Durham has Game Day Live from Goodison Park. Leicester against West Ham is their commentary on the final day of the Premier League season. Over on Talksport, here on Talksport 2 at the end of this game, we'll be off to Ellen Road for Leeds against Spurs. The matches at Villa, Southampton, Chelsea and Palace, all available on the Talksport app. High ball played forward again. Edmondson does well to flick the ball on. He wasn't first favourite for that ball. The Carlisle number 9. Stockport will clear, and then a heavy challenge from Crosdale on this near side leads to a free kick following the tackle on Mellish. And Carlisle have a set piece here. And at the moment we have two teams who are almost going through the motions. They're absolutely out on their feet.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Moxon looks pretty bright. If you're him now, you're thinking, right, happy day. He's got a free kick, in-swinging delivery. Let's get this right. He's had a few in this game.
Well, Moxon is the player who could unlock this game for Carlisle. Stockport looking to maintain a high defensive line just outside the penalty area. But there is a inviting space for Moxon to deliver the free kick, but again it's overhit from him and it's straight into the arms of Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, disappointing. You're not quite sure today, I guess, on his delivery what it's going to be like, if it's going to be reliable or not, and it hasn't really been. Another one overhit.
Cleared long downfield again by Hinchcliffe. Hippolyte does well to flick on. Stretton will chase, but Huntington gets there first for Carlisle. Hammers it high. That strip of shade is getting slimmer and slimmer on the far side, and it's a free kick now for Stockport. A challenge on one of the central defenders who has gone down with cramp, Chris Hussey. And Stockport now at the end of a long season. Both these teams have to keep their nerve in what remains of extra time and what may be to come in a penalty shootout. At the moment we're heading for that. 9 minutes played in the first period, 1-1 here in the League Two playoff final.
Well, they have sent two centre halves up for this long ball, so they're going to pump this on the diagonal, looking for Horsfall and hoping to win a flick on.
Hinchcliffe with the free kick, high to this near side, headed away though by Huntington, who's had a brilliant game, the Carlisle skipper. Over the top again from Hussey, but it was a tired ball forward, straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Carlisle. And the pace of the game has dropped noticeably after what was a frenetic end to the 90 minutes.
I think, yeah, I mean, in Hussey's defence, he is a left footer. He had to come across and clear with his right, and ideal world, he wouldn't want to really be doing that. He could turn back, go to his goalkeeper, use his left foot.
Stretton now, midway inside the Carlisle half, but the Stockport striker all on his own, and it's played away by Senior. Charters with a long ball forward again, but a good header away by Horsfall. And it will bobble out of play despite the efforts of Knoll on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for Carlisle United with 10 minutes played in the first period here. Carlisle 1, Stockport 1, here on Talksport 2 in the League 2 playoff final, with Leeds against Spurs coming up at 4:30. And the referee is just having words with Owen Moxon, the Carlisle playmaker, as Charters waits for the throw-in here, and he's talking to the VAR, I think, about something.
Well, I just looked off the ball. It looked like Dennis might have had a coming together off the ball, and he went to ground holding his face. Maybe that's what they were looking for with one of the Stockport County defenders.
Charters with the long throw into the penalty area, cleared away. Charters again on this near side, just checks back away from Collar. And now Moxon with the high ball in, fisted clear by Hinchcliffe to the far side. Sarcevic will head across and keep the ball in play, jabs it down the line. Rydell still full of running, but so too is Edmondson. Edmondson catches up, wins it, and now Carlisle can break down their right, slid down the line by Edmondson. Senior coming forward, good run from him, but Hippolyte is quick, still has relatively fresher legs, having come on in the second half, and it's cleared away by Hussey up to the halfway line. Now Sarcevic again, good ball from him, wide towards Rydell, down the Stockport County left-hand side. A high ball into the penalty area. Collar is waiting. He nods it down, and the shot is over the top from Croasdale. But it took a deflection. It will be a corner.
Right, it's a brilliant block. In the end, I think it's Corey Whelan that just gets in the way of this strike from Croasdale. Lovely, long, raking diagonal into the box, headed back down. There's Croasdale with the strike, but it looks like Corey Whelan put his body on the line, and the deflection just takes the ball over the bar. Great defending from Whelan in the end.
And Chris Hussey is trotting across to this near side to take the corner kick. 2.5 minutes of normal time to play in the first period here. 1-1. Hussey's corner. High towards the far post. Holy comes through the crowd to fist the ball away. Back over the top again. Looking for Stretton, but it's hooked away by Moxon, and Stockport will have a throw-in on the far side, and maybe they're just creeping back into the ascendancy as we head towards half-time and extra time. No one is rushing here to take the throw-in for Stockport. In the end, Ryan Rydell will head across to the far side.
Well, it looks like the skipper for Carlisle, Paul Huntington, is down, feeling the effects. I mean, he's just touching the back of his leg there, his hamstring, whether that's a touch of cramp or a slight pull. I won't want to lose him.
Well, he went down during the final moments of the normal time, during that scramble inside the penalty area. Huntington is a player they won't want to lose at this stage. And he's shown real leadership for Carlisle, particularly during that rocky spell for them either side of half-time. And if you've just joined us on Talksport 2, an own goal from Chris Hussey gave Stockport a half-time lead. But in the end, Amari Patrick equalising the own goal from John Mellish very late on in normal time. Huntington is back on his feet, but he'll have to go across to the far side to be way back onto the field of play. Stockport quickly get the ball back in play. A high ball forward again. Collar wins the ball in the air but can't direct it towards a blue shirt as the sun disappears behind a cloud for a moment here, which will be appreciated by the players, but it's quickly won back by Croasdale, but the free kick's been given for the challenge on Patrick just in front of the two technical areas. And I think we will have maybe one added minute at the end of the first period here. Charters will take the free kick, in fact 2 added minutes. And it's Charters who will take the free kick for Carlisle. High towards the far side. Dennis is the target, but neither he or Edmondson can get on to the end of it. Hussey with a high ball forward for Stockport, but it's straight out of play. And Jack Stretton has had very little service since coming on, and it will be a throw-in for Carlisle again.
Yeah, and Paul Simpson just on the free kick, just pointing towards Mellish, just saying, right, you two holding centre mid, just push Mellish a little bit higher as a number 10, just in case it breaks down them. We haven't got 3 centre mids in a flat line. One's got to be as a number 10, 2 sitting in behind, and just try and keep the ball alive there.
Now Charters looks to play in Patrick on this near side, but it's cut out by Knoll. But now Patrick has it, the player who scored the equaliser in the 83rd minute for Carlisle, and the ball bounces kindly for Collar on this near side, but he just clips Charters. I think Charters made the most of the challenge to ensure he got the free kick.
He just needed to make an early decision there, Charters. He was waiting and waiting, and Patrick set him back and just put it into the channel. Took too long, and in the end, well, it looks like
Collar's been booked for kicking the ball away.
Looks like it.
Well, he went for goal after the free kick. I think he knew it was a free kick, and the referee's booked it. And Dave Challen is absolutely furious. And it's his turn to head towards the 4th official. Clint Hill is also having 1 or 2 words. Clint Hill was a fairly uncompromising character as a player. Finished his career at Carlisle. Long ball played forward again for Carlisle, but it's won back by Collar. Sliced down the line by Byrne, but straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Carlisle United, and that's half-time and extra time. 15 minutes away from penalties. It is Carlisle 1, Stockport 1.
Second half of extra time to come shortly here on your home, the EFL Talksport 2. Time now, though, for us to get a quick weather report on Talksport 2, all thanks to Quick Fit.
Game day weather report on Talksport 2 with Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Once we're done here at a red-hot Wembley, Premier League action on final day at Ellen Road. Leeds against Spurs, dry day, sunshine up there, brisk winds in the area though, maximum temperature of 6 degrees Celsius. Over on Talksport, don't forget Adrian Durham taking you around the grounds, and we bring you commentary from Leicester, West Ham, from the King Power, Sam Matterface and Scott Minto. You'll see highs of 18 up there in the Midlands. So today's weather report brought to you by Quick Fit. Quick Fit are expertly trained in electric vehicles, so whatever car or van you're driving, you can drive away happy every time. Find your local electric vehicle train centre at quickfit.com. Selected centres only.
Game day weather report on Talksport 2 with Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
You've got to pay the bills. Players out.
I don't think either team here need a weather report, do they?
It's warm. It's red hot here at Wembley. We're going to need another 15, maybe penalties to separate Carlisle and Stockport. 1-1 after the 90. 1-1 after a little more action in extra time. Players out on their feet. Who's got a shove left in them? Who's got that final burst in them? Who's got that decisive moment in them? There are a lot of players out there, Dave Conley, taking on more food. The wet towels are out again. Final instruction, Chandler, Simpson in both technical areas, barking out final orders. Neither of them have got much left.
No, I did think you were going to say it is hot under the wheel collar, but you didn't say that, so thanks very much. Anyway, look, I mean, it's tough to call at the minute because you can't see either side fashioning, well, they haven't in the first period of extra time, any sort of clear-cut chance, really. I think certainly Carlisle or Edmonton have been bright. Gibson has been bright. The front part of the pitch, you know, Patrick, they've been really, really good. If it was anyone, you'd say, well, they look most likely at this moment, but they haven't really had that much clear cut.
We're all human. Are 1 or 2 starting to think about what could potentially come next, Dave?
Well, yeah, that's why I think Sarcevic is still on the pitch. I think Dave Challen's thinking, well, you know, I can't take too many more of my attack-minded players.
They've both got one more sub available, haven't they?
Yeah. Nigel mentioned about the players who've taken penalties and scored, so that will be in the back of your mind, certainly.
Right, they're both ready for the second half of extra time here in the League 2 playoff final between Carlisle and Stockport. 1-1. Who's going to win it? Could we see a winner in the next 15? We'll find out with Dave Conley alongside Nigel Adley.
And it's Stockport who will get the second period underway. The 3 players who scored for Stockport, well, Paddy Madden's gone off. Will Collar and Anthony Sarcevic scored in the shootout win against Salford in the semi, but Ryan Crosdale missed. But equally as important, Ben Hinchcliffe provided 2 saves in that game, and he has scored a penalty in a shootout victory in a playoff final for Fylde in the National League North back in 2014. So Carlisle have won their previous 4 shootouts, but both teams will hope they can avoid it here. As Carlisle have to do some defending here. The low ball into the penalty area from Stretton is cleared at the near post by Hendry, behind for a corner.
Well, maybe they play better kicking into their own fans, Stockport County, so we'll have to wait and see.
And you can hear the Stockport supporters now as Chris Hussey takes the applause as he gets ready for this corner kick on the far side. Horsfall and Byrne are both forward from the back here, and there was a bus queue of Stockport County players waiting to split as this corner comes in. Hussey's delivery in towards the near post. Good fist away by Holy, coming through the crowd again.
Brilliant distance on that punch. I mean, it must have punched about 40 yards. Superb.
And that just clears the pressure. Edmondson having his shirt pulled on this near side by Stretton, but no free kick given. Now Hippolyte picks up a loose ball, but he can't control it, and it's out of play for a throw into Carlisle on this near side.
I tell you what, that's great goalkeeping, isn't it? You know, because Hussey's got a really good delivery, left foot in swinging. You know, as a goalkeeper, it might be coming, towards you. As centre halves, you want your keeper to come and deal with it. We saw this in the League One semi-final, Sunderland Luton, where maybe I think the Sunderland goalkeeper could have done a bit more with the set pieces coming for things. And certainly there, Holy with a great punch.
Gibson for Carlisle on this near side, unable to control, and it's brought forward by Rydell. Good ball again, infield for Stratton, who is onside. He turns on the edge of the penalty area, has support, but goes for goal, and it's a brilliant save by Holy. Stratton let fly from 25 yards, and Holy, arching his back, plunged away to his left to tip the ball over the top.
Yeah, great save, one-handed. That looked destined for the top corner. I mean, Stratton travelling across the box from left to right. You can see what he's trying to do. Just open his body out and curl that into the top corner. Holy with a superb hand to it. Tip it over the bar.
Well, Stockport in this second period have been the better side so far. 2.5 minutes played. Thomas Hawley with a brilliant save there. Played every minute of the season, 20 clean sheets in the regular season as well. And he needed to be at his best there, but Hussey will take the corner kick again.
Well, they're trying to put a couple of players on him as well, aren't they?
Try and block him off.
Yeah.
Hussey, another in-swinging delivery. Deeper this time, it's flicked on and onto the roof of the netting, and it's a goal kick. Carlisle dealing with that, although Stockport are convinced it was a Carlisle touch, but at this stage of the game you always would be.
I mean, look, I'm not a goalkeeping coach, but I sometimes look at keeper start position from corners and it concerns me. So Holy started behind 4 players. He had 2 players blocking him and his 2 centre halves. So rather than starting in front of them, i.e. closest to the ball taker, he was furthest away. Now if that's under hit, he's got a lot of traffic to get through and try and get to that ball. Risky, but you would say most of the corners have been deep today, most of them. So the goalkeeper start position has actually been pretty good, but there he had a little bit of a panic. Looked like it was dropping short, but it didn't.
This the 9th League Two playoff final to go to extra time. 5 of them have gone on to penalty shootouts, but only twice in the last 30 years. High ball forward from Senior for Carlisle, but it's cleared away by Knoll on the far side. Now Charters down the Carlisle left, looking for Patrick. Charters continues up towards the edge of the penalty area, but good covering from Crosdale. Down the line now for Sarcevic, but he's quickly run off it by Moxon. And Moxon again, who's such a good player on the ball, plays it forward for Carlisle. And whatever happens to Carlisle, you feel that Owen Moxon will be playing at a higher level next season. Now Gibson on this near side. Plays it square towards the far side, and there is space and time for Charters to bring the ball forward. High into the penalty area. Horsfall rising to clear, but it drops to Edmondson on the edge of the box. Right foot shot from him, though, is blocked. Now Senior down the right-hand side, or misses his kick at the key moment. It spins high and up into the air and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, it just looked like the bounce of the ball just deceived Senior then, which was unlucky. I mean, as you say, they had all the time in the world to deliver there under no pressure whatsoever. Carlisle. Stockport slow to get out and close the ball down. Obviously, that stage in the game, deep into extra time.
10 minutes to go. Carlisle 1, Stockport 1 here on Talksport 2. Half an hour's time. We will have Leeds against Spurs in the Premier League, the final day of the season. Leicester against West Ham will be over on Talksport. Adrian Durham at Goodison Park with all the news from Everton against Bournemouth. A win for Everton, they are safe, and Leicester and Leeds are down, and the matches at Villa, Southampton, Chelsea and Palace all available on the Talksport app today. But at the moment we still have a promotion place in League 2 to sort out here at Wembley, and this is going the distance at the moment, as many people thought it would. Over half of the pitch is now illuminated by the sunshine, but the shade is beginning to creep across from the east end of the stadium. Cut square towards Gibson on the edge of the penalty area for Carlisle. Now wide towards Edmondson down their right. Edmondson will try and deliver across it. It takes a deflection off Rydell. It's a Carlisle corner.
Yeah, he done well, Edmondson. I think he's had a really good impact. Gets to the byline, tries to get his cross in. I think he knows that if I cut him inside, then might not get anything. So go down the line. Worst case, might get a corner. That's what they've got. And again, just looking at, say, Hinchcliffe's position here, he's almost, he could probably touch the back post on this corner. There is a huge hole at the near, but every ball in has gone deep. You just wonder if it's under hit, might be in a bit of trouble.
Moxon drives it in towards the near post. Flicked on. Oh, what a save by Hinchcliffe. It's still loose inside the penalty area. Guided in on the volley from Dennis, and it's wide. But Dennis with that near post header, and Hinchcliffe had to come across and pour the ball away right underneath the crossbar.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, the hole there all game has been huge, but every corner has gone deep. And I was thinking, well, why don't they go short? And they have. And they nearly scored. He just about got across his goal there. Superb save, one-handed. But the space has been there all game. I think it's been a gamble. We saw it at the opposite end, didn't we? With Holy, the start position goalkeeper's made, but great save.
Oh, well, they were appealing Carlisle, saying the ball across the line, but of course goal line technology said that Hinchcliffe made the save, and looking at the replay, of course, it was absolutely right. But we've seen both goalkeepers make brilliant saves in this second period, and of course they could end up being the heroes here today very soon.
Well, the start position has fascinated me, because I'm not, look, there'll be goalkeeper coaches listening, other goalkeepers will have opinions on this, but the start position from corners has been really interesting for me, because it's been very, very deep, the furthest away from the ball that I can recall I've seen for a long time, and it's worked, but then they nearly got caught out.
But maybe the intelligence they had suggested that Moxon always hits his corners deep to the far post.
Yeah, exactly, but then I think in-game, that's where a player's in-game, coach's in-game, you change that. You vary it and you go, you know what, look, there's a space at the near. That's what they're paid for, giving the analysis. Right, bang, let's try one at the near post. They did it there, Carlisle, and God, it was so close.
Connor Lemonhay-Evans is coming on for Carlisle, for a former Torquay player coming on for Stockport. Interestingly, it is Sarcevic who is coming off. Well, he was a penalty taker in the semi-final, but he comes off now to be replaced by Lemonhay-Evans, who was on loan at Notts County earlier this season, so he could be heading for 2 promotions, although he wasn't involved in their penalty shootout victory here a couple of weeks ago.
Well, maybe, you know, he can't keep Sarcevic on too much longer. Maybe if he was carrying him a little bit, and Carlisle were just penning Stockport back. They need energy as well. They might not get to penalties, so can't run that risk if you feel the player's just not quite giving you enough.
No, Charters has had the freedom with the left-hand side. It's his cross into the penalty area now. Plenty of pace on it, but too close to Hinchcliffe. And Sarcevic just wasn't tracking back on the right-hand side, because basically he's run out of juice, and that will be Evans' job now.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a real start season, hasn't he? You know, injury during January, February, struggled since April for games and minutes, so he's done really well to last this long, I think.
Horsfall for Stockport, high over the top, looking for Crowsdale, but it's Picked up now by Gibson, and Gibson carries the ball a long way for Carlisle, deep into the Stockport half. And we have just over 5 minutes to play here. Now Edmondson, 1-1 at Wembley on Talksport 2. And Gibson's back heel for Carlisle, looking to release Edmondson, not what was required in the circumstances, straight out of play. And Stockport have a throw-in, and they're not hurrying. I don't think they can hurry.
No, it's a shame though from Gibson, because he's done great there, taking his team up the pitch, and you just think, Edmondson, don't go backwards there, just keep going forwards. Ball set back to him, don't go back, go forwards, go forwards.
Hussey will take the throw-in, was suffering from cramp but looks to be okay now. And 2 of the players who scored for Stockport in the semi-final shootout are not on the field to play now. Here is Stratton though, finding Collar. Collar carries it forward, he's got support on his outside, but he's given the ball away to Moxon. Moxon looking to release Patrick, and Byrne could be exposed here for pace. Wide on the far side, Patrick comes in field up towards the edge of the penalty area. Good challenge though by Byrne, bided his time, and he now clears it long downfield, and it's a good ball as well, because here is Collar now for Stockport. Wide on the right-hand side, the early cross into the penalty area, straight to Hurley.
Oh, it's a waste really, because Collar, that's a couple of times now. He lost possession a moment ago to allow them to feed the ball to Patrick, and then he's put in acres of space, loads of room down that right hand side, and he puts the ball straight into the arms of Holy.
Three and a half minutes away from penalties here on Talksport 2. 1-1 it remains. Carlisle equalising late in normal time, and both teams have had great chances in this second period to win it. Stratton now. Dragged to the ground, was he? No, not according to the referee, just inside the Carlisle half, and the Cumbrians will bring it forward now. Now the space for Gibson down the right. Edmondson looking to break towards the penalty area. He will take on Hussey, and he's gone beyond him initially, but Hussey's back at him, lunges in at the expense of a corner.
Well, they nearly scored from a similar situation just a few minutes ago. Edmondson getting to the byline, does that again. Let's see what they do on this delivery, whether it is aimed towards the near. Let's see if Hinchcliffe does change his start position. He might have the goalkeeper guessing here.
Moxon will take the corner kick for Carlisle. We are in the 118th minute. Moxon's delivery in towards the far post, and this time Hinchcliffe claims it. That's where he was stood.
Yeah. And that's where he stood for 90% of them. I mean, just got under it, Moxon, overhit it. I think I should have gone near post again. I think the variation in the set piece has probably been a little bit disappointing, to be honest. I haven't seen anything, you know, sometimes you keep something up your sleeve for an occasion like this. You know, you're racking, right, what sort of set pieces have we got? Something we haven't done all season. What can we do, just in case we need it? A little joker. And neither side's really done much. Haven't been overly impressed with the set pieces today so far.
Well, Carlisle scored so many goals from set pieces during the season. He had that chance there, the earlier corner from Moxon, flicked on by Dennis, and a great save from Hinchcliffe. But I think teams now are almost too tired to remember set piece routines. 90 seconds of normal time to play in extra time. Moxon with a long free kick pumped forward again for Carlisle. Headed away by Byrne. Now Patrick inside the penalty area. Nobody diving in with a challenge, but Noel forces him wide to the far side. Charters takes over. Down the line for Whelan. Whelan's back heel allows the cross to be delivered by Charters. Volleyed away by Collar. And it will be a throw-in for Carlisle once again. Into the final minute. And there was a Carlisle player down on the far side again. And the Carlisle bench is saying, no, get up. Keep going. But the referee, I think, may have to get the medical team on because he can't stand up.
There's Corey Whelan.
Yeah.
He looks okay now. He's up and he's back in his position, defensive position.
30 seconds of normal time to play. And there may be an extra minute at the end of normal time or extra time. Throw in towards that near post area, looking for Patrick, headed away by Crowsdale. Flick further clear, but now Gibson has it for Carlisle. And Stockport win it back, and they can maybe break right at the end of this game. Rydell, there'll be a single added minute. Flicked on by Hippolyte, looking for Stretton, nodded clear by Huntington. Volleyed further clear by Whelan, wide to the far side. Patrick will try and keep the ball in play, and he's done so, but he's only succeeded in giving it to Knoll. And Knoll can come forward now, but he's challenged on the far side. And a goal kick's been given in the end. Both teams have run themselves to a standstill. But somebody is going to be a hero here, and somebody is going to have a very long, disappointing summer. Because penalties are looming in the League Two playoff final here on Talksport 2. Cleared long downfield again by Holy, and that's it. It is penalties for the second successive day here at Wembley. Luton Town were successful in the Championship, and now another set of hatters, Stockport County, will face Carlisle in a shootout for a place in League One.
Nigel, thank you. Premier League final day action still to come on Talksport 2. Leeds against Spurs. Once we're done here at Wembley, we'll be straight off to Ellen Road across the Talksport network. 6 live commentaries available on the Talksport app. In this League 2 playoff final, Stockport, they had it won. They had it in their grasp. Promotion was theirs, but character, the currency, so important. Carlisle showed it. Amari Patrick showed it, scoring late to take this to extra time. Now, for the second time this weekend, promotion in the playoff final will be decided from the spot. With all the added on time we've had here in North London, we've played over 130 minutes, but still we are no closer to a winner between Stockport and Carlisle in this League 2 final. 34,000 now wait with bated breath inside Wembley. Both will have practiced. Stockport won on spot kicks against Salford to book their berth here today. Some players, they'll stick their hand up, others will have their fingers crossed. Who delivers? Very quickly, Dave Conley. Jack Stretton denied Thomas Holy one end, up the other, Ben Hinchliffe. An amazing save.
Yeah, amazing. Superb, one-handed, right from under the bar. I mean, he had to scramble across his goal, and there was that space there which we just touched on just before the ball came in, which I was surprised no one tried to exploit earlier in the game, but nearly came off, and we had a wonderful one-handed save.
Winning spot kick taker for Stockport, Anthony Sarcevic, taken off.
Yeah, look, maybe, I guess, Dave Challoner might be thinking, well, he might not even get through the penalty, so, you know, Carlisle were in the
carrying
ascendancy.
him with a few minutes to go.
Yeah, exactly. So, tough decision to make, but unless he was absolutely gone, I'm surprised, because, you know, taking penalties, you want people who've taken pens, had good memories of taking penalties, are happy to take penalties. You often get to this stage and, you know, well, whatever you might have pre-planned, some of those players might be on the pitch, some might not. You might have to alter that sort of the run of the sequence.
Does it get to a point where you are kind of, because of the changes you've made, the situation, the pressure, the occasion, does it come back to who's volunteering?
Yeah, often. And there's some, yeah, I've been in this position, and you know, your manager might look around. Sometimes there's eyes down, sometimes there's eyes up, and you go, right, I'll have one. You know, it doesn't matter. Let me go and take it. At least if you do put your hand up and take it, you are in control of your destiny in some ways.
And both teams will have practiced an awful lot in the last few days, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you can practice, but when it comes down to it, it's a little bit different when you're, you know, after 120 minutes, you've got fatigue setting in, and also you've got the pressure of the situation. So, look, good luck to both teams. You know, it's often a cruel way to lose.
Nigel?
Thanks, Dan. Well, Carlisle had a very long huddle involving everybody, including the injured players, and of course Ben Barclay on loan from Stockport County. How does he feel now?
Absolutely. Got to say, we're looking now as refreshments are taken on. One or two are walking away to just take a moment to themselves. Goalkeeper coaches are dragging Holy, Hinchliffe to one side, running through dossiers and notes in the Stockport County
Well, we can ask you, David. You've been in this sort of situation. They'll toss up now for the end. Does it make any difference? Well, they're going to the Stockport end. Yeah. Of course, that was the end where Luton won the penalties yesterday with their fans stood behind it.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, although we saw the Luton goalkeeper run down a tunnel yesterday. Now, whether that was to go and get information, whether it was to...
That was the Coventry keeper, Ben Wilson. He went to the toilet before penalties.
Yeah, so whatever he done in there, we don't know. But it might have been a quick refresh of who's going where. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because I think he dived the opposite way to, or most of the point being, like, there's no...
He seemed more preoccupied with trying to put the player off than actually save the penalty.
Yeah, that's right. He had the technique of sort of bouncing up and down behind the line and all this sort of stuff. So I think, sometimes you can make a little bit too much of the research. Often on the day, players might change their minds where they've previously gone. It's just so hard to judge.
10 months, blood, sweat and tears, 130 plus minutes of playoff final football at Wembley. Who wins promotion to League One? It will be decided, like it was yesterday in the Championship final. Promotion will be decided from the spot. Let's bring it to you here on your home, the EFL Talksport 2 with Dave Conley alongside Nigel Adley.
Thank you, Dan. Both goalkeepers get a tremendous ovation as they head towards the east goal here at Wembley. Ben Hinchcliffe and Thomas Holy, they've both been around the block. Ben Hinchcliffe joined Stockport in National League North, the 6th tier. Saved 2 penalties in the shootout against Salford in the semi-final. And it's Carlisle who will be going first. In fact, it's Stockport who will be going first, and it's the player Connor Lemonhay-Evans who came on very late in extra time, presumably to take a penalty. Part of the Torquay team, it's lost on penalties in the National League final to Hartlepool 2 years ago when Dave Challoner was on the other side. Thomas Hawley just stepping out to the edge of his 6-yard area. He looks a big man in goal, it must be said. First penalty for Connor Lemonhay-Evans for Stockport, and he scores. Sends Hawley the wrong way, and Stockport scored their first penalty.
Yeah, off to a good start, sends the keeper the wrong way, and often, whoever takes first, we know the stats, the data, they have a higher percentage chance of winning. You score, you put the opposition under pressure, and that's what happened. It happened yesterday, didn't it, with Luton Town? So, Carlisle got it all to do.
Now, a former Stockport player, Christian Dennis, who played for them in the National League North. His teammate was Ben Hinchcliffe. Now he's facing him in a shootout here at Wembley. Long run up from Christian Dennis for Carlisle, and he makes no mistake. Low to the goalkeeper's right-hand side. Hinchcliffe went the other way, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, as you say, both penalties so far. Keepers dived the opposite way. Pleasing for Dennis, because I'm sure he was sitting on the sideline hoping to get on a lot earlier than he did. And obviously, you're the first one up, the pressure's on you. If you miss, you put your teammates under an enormous amount of pressure. You're the goal scorer, you're the one that's meant to score. He has done, so pleased for him.
Ryan Rydell will take the second penalty here for Stockport County. Returned into the first team for the playoffs. Hawley again is stood on the edge of a 6-yard area, just trying to delay the kick until the referee forces him back towards the goal line. Rydell retreats. He will hit this left-footed, and it's saved. Thomas Hawley makes the first save, and Carlisle United have the opportunity to go ahead.
Yeah, and for the first time, the goalkeeper's guessed the right way, and that has helped. It's not a particularly good penalty. It's not high. It's not with an enormous amount of pace to beat the goalkeeper. He gets it right. It's a good height, knee height, and around there, he just pushes it away.
John Mellish, who scored an own goal in normal time, will take Carlisle's second penalty. This the opportunity to go 2-1 up in the shootout. Mellish will hit this left-footed, and he scores, hammers it high into the net. Once again, the goalkeeper goes the wrong way, and Carlisle United lead 2-1 after 2 penalties.
Yeah, great strike. Left-footed, hit like an arrow. Brilliant penalty.
Well, there was real pressure now on Miles Hippolyte. Scored home and away against Carlisle in the league season. But if he misses, Carlisle will have 1 foot in League One.
Well, the goalkeeper's doing the same, standing on almost a 6-yard box, trying to make himself as big as possible before he retreats to the goal line.
He looks absolutely massive on the goal line here, Thomas Holy. Hippolyte makes no mistake though, steps up and calmly rolls the ball into the corner. And Holy went the wrong way. And we're back to 2-2, but Carlisle have the edge.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper's trying to get the ball, and Hippolyte's got there first.
There's so much kidology going on there.
Yeah,
everyone's trying to grab the ball, and Hippolyte now hands it on to the taker, Ryan Edmondson. And he encourages the Stockport crowd to get behind Ben Hinchcliffe here. Edmondson, who came on in normal time and helped to turn the game Stockport's way, Carlisle's way. Short run up here from Ryan Edmondson. This will be a right-footed penalty to put Carlisle ahead once again in the shootout. Right-footed, stutter step, and then he calmly rolls it down the centre.
Well, I think it was just slightly to the side, to the left of centre. The goalkeeper went the wrong way. Nice calm. He took a short run up, as you said. Pretty deliberate though. Couple of long steps. It was almost like a Johnny Wilkinson-esque addressing of the ball.
3-2 to Carlisle. If they keep scoring, they will get promotion here. Jack Stretton will take the penalty now for Stockport. They're 4th, trailing 3-2 in the shootout. Stretton right-footed, good penalty. Hawley went the right way, but it was high into the net. And it's 3-3. Yeah, Carlisle have the advantage.
Yeah, it's probably the best penalty so far, if you can call it a best penalty. I mean, if you score, it doesn't matter, but with great pace and accuracy right into the roof of the net. Really well taken there from Stretton.
Owen Moxon, the assist king in League Two this season. Only Kevin De Bruyne has had more assists in the entire league. He will take the 4th penalty here for Carlisle. Short run up once again. He'll hit this right-footed. Moxon high into the net. And Carlisle perfect so far. And now Stockport have to score or Carlisle are promoted.
Magnificent from Moxon, who's had a really good game. He was excellent. You know, certainly in extra time and the latter half of the second 45. And he dispatched that beautifully right into the top corner, sent the keeper the wrong way.
Will Collar scored in the semi-final shootout. He has to score now or Carlisle are promoted. This is it. Will Collar will take a right-footed penalty. Steps up and he scores! Hawley dives the wrong way, but Carlisle now have a kick to win it.
Cool from Collar. Low penalty to the keeper's left. Big moment here for Carlisle. Huge. Paul Simpson, I don't think he's really looked at the penalties. I often look at him and he's looking at the ground.
Taylor Charters, Whitehaven born, Cumbrian born, with a penalty to send Carlisle into League One. Charters steps up and he makes no mistake. And Carlisle have done it. 5 perfect penalties, and there are Cumbrian celebrations right across Wembley. Paul Simpson's Wembley jinx comes to an end, and the manager, who was player manager when Carlisle last got promoted, has worked his magic once again. Stockport County denied back-to-back promotions, and Carlisle United will be in the 3rd tier next season.
Well, superb, wasn't it? Superb from them. I mean, they had it all to do. They were up against it, went 1-0 down, got back in the game, equalised. Even in the penalties, they went second, so they're up against it again. 5 brilliant penalties, really well taken, and huge congratulations to Carlisle.
start the party in Cumbria after years of drift and decay at League 2 level. Carlisle United heading back to the third tier of English football. Paul Simpson, he saved them last season. He's taken them to Wembley this time around. He has helped them win promotion back to League 1. They left it late to take it to extra time. He's done it so well. And Dave Conley very quickly. What a man, Paul Simpson.
Yeah, brilliant.
What a job he's done for that football club.
I mean, look, it's difficult, tough on Stockport County and Dave Challoner. A superb season, and they played their part. They were brilliant in the first half, but the changes Simpson made had a real impact on the game. We said how important the benches were going to be, and so it proved. And in the second half and in extra time, you'd say Carlisle really turned the tide. You know, brilliant for Paul Simpson. He's a terrific manager, as is Dave Challoner. Credit to Carlisle and Cumbria, and it's a great day for them. Best of luck in League 1.
Dave Conley, Nigel Adley, outstanding as ever. The live football does not stop this Sunday. From Wembley to Yorkshire we go. Up next, Will Gavin, your host of Talksport 2, bring you full exclusive commentary in the Premier League final day. Leeds United against Tottenham. Don't go anywhere. Kick off not far.